conquered the Autobots' home planet of Cybertron. Of Cybertron. Cybertrons! Of Cybertron. Cybertrons! Of Cybertron. Of Cybertrons! 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 Cybertrons! Of Cybertron. Cybertrons! Of Cybertron.
We now return you to the children of Primus.
Return of a classic, eh?
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah. Because
That's dope.
I heard those beats ages ago. It's just a new format to present them. A great new
Yep.
format.
Well, how is everyone doing?
Good,
Pretty
man.
good. I'm
Good,
in the,
good.
in the midst of a simultaneous live photo shoot for tomorrow's review of the TFCon exclusive, The Huntsman. Because
Awesome.
such a big, complicated figure that it's taken me way longer than I intended to take my photos. So I got my studio right here, and while we're chatting, I'm just going to be snapping away.
Nice.
Awesome.
It's a huge lad. Yeah, I got my shot list up over there, so I don't have to think about what the photos are that I'm going to take. I already got the list.
Cool.
that's
So
what I've
I
been
know for the last few weeks, actually almost for maybe a month and a half, like we have not caught up in any news.
Yeah, a lot of stuff
3,
has
4
happened.
weeks ago, yeah, we had TFCon, and then we had a guest, and just a lot happens in between time.
Yeah, so I mean, probably the new thing that everybody's talking about, I think, is of course that the mysterious missing link, that Optimus Prime, which has now been more or less confirmed as being legitimate, that they're going to be that we're going to find out more about apparently next week from Takara, the one that is just a Generation 1 Optimus Prime but given modern joints. It includes all the bells and whistles.
Yeah,
the leaks
I
were
did-
legit. Some
did-
Oh,
retailers
that's cool.
have
that.
Like the original, so it's like the original G1 mold, but with additional articulation.
Yeah, it's based
That's
on.
cool. I always wanted that. Like, as a kid, when you're playing with him, you always wish that he had more articulation. So that's awesome that they're
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah, nobody was sure if it was legitimate or Photoshop, but like listings have shown have come together now, and it is like.
Aren't they
it is
doing like
based
two
on
versions
that.
of it? One with the trailer and one without?
Yeah. It's going to be a version that's just this guy, and there's going to be a version with the trailer. He's going to be pretty expensive though. Like I think
Yeah,
the
it's like
full one with the trailer
$75
probably
and
clears about
one-
160 Canadian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I probably
we've
got to
seen
get
the
it anyway.
designs. Yeah, like, my question is, it's called Missing Link, and nobody knows if it's going to be a one-off or like a full line. There was a Megatron.
Man.
Yeah, there was a Megatron kicking around the internet, but I have been assured by people that are knowledgeable about such things that that was probably a Photoshop, and that
Yeah.
one's not real.
Well, between that and then there's also let me see if I could find it. the one post about make toys. But before we get into that, I want to welcome everyone for joining us again. We've got Big Poppy, Omni Swami Sajanani, myself Spin, Mr. Magnus, TF Johnny, Freakenstein, Fear of Courage, and Toy Facts. How are you doing?
Wonderful.
All good, all good.
Yep.
Fresh off the con circuit.
Oh, things are falling.
Oh yeah, you got to report how your trip to the con
Oh,
went.
dude, this was so good. Well, it was. Do you want me to do that now?
Yeah.
let's do it.
Actually, well, just one second before you, or a couple of seconds before
Okay.
you do it. Shiba Kobe says we.
Wee.
Brian Renner says yo.
Brian, yo.
Stephen Bach says he's listens in while finish my TFTF arena for today. Shiva Kobe says someone remixed jazz saying Cybertron. That was myself. Which funny enough, and I don't know if D caught on this. Years ago when we worked in music, we called our studio on Cybertron Productions. So it would be a play on words if a client came by, they're like, "Yo, I'm on Cybertron, working on my track." Now we've got Children of Primus, and the letters are actually the same acronym letters if you kind of switch them around.
Oh, that's really neat.
Yeah, didn't realize that until
That's the
recently.
same acronym if you rearrange the letters.
Well, but you know what I mean. Brian Brenner says, "How you guys doing today?" Yesterday I got Legacy Armada Megatron, and he's a great figure, says Brian from YouTube.
Nice.
And
Those guys are turning up.
cool. Shiva Kobe says, "Sup gang, I'm on time for a change." So that's always happy whatever time you guys get here.
So are a lot of people today, apparently.
Yeah,
Not naming any
actually made it
names.
here.
TF Johnny.
So over to Mr. Magnus. Let us know how things turned out.
So I went to Gen Con, which is one of the largest gaming conventions in the United States, period. Gen Con Indy. 85,000 people in the Indianapolis Convention Center for board games, card games, gaming of all sorts. And they had a release of the new Transformers tabletop RPG. I was unable to acquire a ticket for that because I wasn't exactly sure how Gen Con worked, being as to how this was the first one I ever went to, and you had to pre-buy everything there. So if they didn't have open seats, we didn't get to go to anything. But one thing that I did acquire a new metal sign.
Ooh, shiny.
Oh yeah, it's wicked. But when I went to the auction, there was a segment of the auction that was for collectibles, figurines, and toys, was all it said in the brochure. And so I went in and I was kind of looking past the queue there where they had everything stacked up, and I saw where it said 8 o'clock, which was when the auction was going to be. And this guy comes walking up, and I'm just kind of looking past him, and I'm sure he's going to say, "Hey, sir, I need you to step away," or whatever. And he says, "Man, if you got any questions, just go ahead and ask me." And I kind of took him in for a minute, and at his badge, he's got the Children of Primus symbol on a button, and it says Children of Primus on it.
That's strange.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Well, my first question is, where did you get the button?" Like that. And he looked down, he goes, "Oh, it's just a show that I watch on Sundays."
Oh my gosh.
Like that. And I said, "Sir, my name's Bill Glenn. I'm Mr. Magnus of Children of Promise." And he totally fanboyed on me.
That's dope. That is dope. That's dope.
He goes, "Man, what are you here for?" I said, "Well, I just wanted to see what was going to be on the auction block at 8 o'clock. He said, "Come on back here. We'll look it over real quick." So he let me walk back and see what was going to be on the auction block
Oh, that's cool.
before
That
the
is
auction.
cool.
You see, children of Primus, it opens doors, ladies and
I
That's
gentlemen.
know that I
right,
have
that's
people
right.
watching me, but at the same
But-
time, I'm like, it's weird realizing, oh, I'm being perceived by like random people.
You're right.
So if Derek from New Albany, New York, is watching tonight,
Shout out.
Yeah.
shout out to you, my friend. He said that he met two of you all at TFCon. Um, oh gosh, I'm
Toronto?
drawing a blank. Toronto.
I believe it. We've been there 2 years now.
I mean, it could only have been one of us if it was at TFCon Chicago, because Toronto is where everybody is. So,
Right.
if it was
But
anywhere
my
else,
other
it would have
question
been
was
one
going to
of
be:
us at
do
a
we
time.
have those buttons, or did he make this himself? Because I got the feeling that he made it himself.
He must have
Yeah,
made it
well-
himself.
You know, when you're a serious fan, you got to do what you got to do.
Nice.
So my next question would be, why aren't we making buttons for people?
And that's
I know the
going to
first thing
be
about
something I'm
buttons.
going to be looking into.
Yeah.
When we get to 500,000 subscribers on Patreon, everybody gets a button.
Might
Why
have to
5,000?
do like a Children of Primus like bowling league shirt or a motorcycle jacket.
Motorcycle jacket. Now you're talking.
Motorcycle
baby.
jacket. I
Oh,
like
yeah.
I
that.
will
Yeah.
wear.
It should be
I will
leather
wear
jacket.
one of anything with our logo on it. I
Children
will
of
swear I'll be,
Primus.
I'll be
I-
fully decked out every stream.
Children of
drive a
Primus
bike
cereal.
pretty much all- yeah, but I drive a bike pretty much all throughout the year, even the wintertime. So, like, I'm getting old enough to forget that at home.
And here comes Steven.
Welcome, Steven. And it's catch up on the comments again.
I think we're supposed to guess which robot he's holding up. I think that's why he's not talking. Somebody,
what am I looking
somebody
at?
guess.
I know
Oh,
Anthony
Spin,
will
let's give
get
him a
this.
full screen.
yeah. Blow that up. Who is that? That's
It's like a junk yawn, ain't it? No.
It looks
I
like
don't
looks like
Oh,
recognize
it's a
that.
baby
Yeah.
unicorn. Look at the head.
He's got a cliff jumper type head, but he's very orange.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm actually stumped on this one. It's
Animated,
prob-
some kind of animated
Dollar Store Bumblebee.
variation of Cliff Jumper.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's
It's,
not.
Jawbreaker from Earthspark. He's hasn't gotten this form yet in the show. I'll have to transform
Oh.
him here in a second. But
Oh
it
yeah,
actually
I'm not super up on Earthspark. That's why.
So let me try to transform him here on camera quick.
Yeah,
Then you
for the
can zoom
left
back.
on the show, most of the cast hasn't actually acquired their alternate modes yet. They're all just shades of gray instead of multicolored.
He's doing. We can hear the transforming sounds. He's doing a transforming ASMR. We've talked a lot about doing these.
Yeah.
He's actually doing it.
So Shiva Kobe says it's a
Hear
long
those
weekend
joints
here in
clicking.
BC. British Columbia Day, so also the long weekend for us in Ontario, which I believe tomorrow is civic holiday for us. And Shiva Kobe says,
"Shout out to
"Ooh,
West Coast."
Yep, you went to Gen Con. A bunch of my buddies from TF Universe, MUX, works there. And Charlie C says, Magnus is a celebrity. And Brian says, I wish I could go to TF Con. I've never have the money to go, and I've never been to one.
Yeah, I'll tell you a secret. That's why I sell things when I'm there. You know?
Steven, can you mute your mic while you're transforming? I think we're getting some feedback there. Yeah, cool.
I'll say this,
Frankenstein.
I'll say
How's
this
it going?
about TF. It's going great. I had a frustrating video that I just did, and it's another Hasbro toy. I don't get it. I do all these Masterpiece toys, but you give me a Hasbro toy, and it's like, nothing fits, nothing goes together. Nothing fits, nothing goes together.
Oh, what was it?
Which toy?
The game edition Bumblebee here.
Really?
The War for Cybertron game edition.
Okay.
Like,
Alt mode looks
could
good.
tell. You could tell, like, it really,
Oh, it's hard
Nothing.
to get him lined up.
everything it sucks about it, and it falls apart.
Now, is it better or worse than the one from 2010? Because people were interested in the update of this guy because the original one was kind of a messy figure.
Actually, I just did that one like 2 weeks ago, and it was the same, falling apart, everything. But I even said I got so frustrated. I'm like, you know what? Enough with Hasbro for a while. I'm sticking to my third party and KOs for a while because I hardly ever have any problems with him. And speaking of KOs, look what I got for $40.
Ooh, what is that?
Ooh.
Ooh.
It's a group of Dinobots. Well,
Yeah,
what
it's a.
kind of Dinobots?
I don't know
I
this.
don't know
set.
if I can get it in there, but I'll turn it
What
around.
company is that? Can't see the company.
There's two of us are in
Okay.
the league.
Okay,
I
so
could
it's a
not tell you.
Volcanicus?
Yeah,
Yeah.
looks like it.
Mechanical.
So like,
But I don't recognize the mold. Is it just the regular Hasbro
no, not even close. Not even close. I could show you the two legs that I've done so far. They're in leg mode, but
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
Ooh. Yeah, I've never seen this design before.
So is this an original mold?
What size
Like,
is that? Is that
yes,
Voyager?
Looks to be.
yes, it's original mold. I don't know the toy company. I've never heard of it, and most of this is in language I don't know. I could show you the box again, but
yeah,
it
let's see the
says
box.
Dragon Man or something like that. Like,
Yeah,
am
and
I holding it?
sorry, TF Johnny was also asking, I guess, what is the size comparable of one of those figures?
Yeah,
Well,
sounds like
Is it
Voyager,
a
right? Did you
Voyager? Is it that's not Legends, right? It's bigger than
Yeah, like
Well,
what's the scale?
No,
I can
yeah, it
show
looks
you
like
this,
Leg-
and this is the rest of them.
Oh,
They look pretty
Voyager.
So like,
tiny.
here's my
They look
hand.
like only slightly bigger than the little
They're not
Legacy
very
Core
big
guys.
whatsoever.
Yeah, those are Legends.
Yeah.
That
So
could be
let's-
mech fans. It look like it could be mech fans. MECH fans.
It's not mech fan.
No.
I have the mech fans.
No.
ones. It's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is,
But it is about. But TF Johnny, it does look to be about the same size
Gotcha.
as the.
Well, do
I
a
found
video
it.
on it because
It-
much like your model kits, I've never seen that before. So
Yeah, you see.
I found it. It's on.
Ooh, who's echoing?
Who's
echoing? We gotta echo
oh, someone's echoing.
Everybody
Uh,
mute. Let's figure it out.
It's Charlie's mic. So Charlie, you're echoing.
Okay.
I was saying I found it
I
at
was saying,
Pro Z store
I-
for $40.
My problem with third-party stuff is this man's thumb went flying around the room, and this entire time I've been quietly looking for it, and I just found it.
well,
Yeah, Jonathan.
I just-
To your point, yeah. So you said it's on shows. I mean, Freakenstein told us he paid $40 for the whole set. Like you,
It's called
Freakenstein, you
Super
got a knack
Teenager
for.
Beast Mechanical Dragon Yan Man Combiner.
Man,
Yeah.
you got a knack for finding the gems, finding like the cheap good stuff.
yeah. Well, I'm on a budget, so $200 a month. That's all I got. I got to get my money's worth. So I also got this guy right here.
Is that the third party transforming roller?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get him
Nice.
too. That's Reller. What's that?
Okay,
What does
so-
that go with?
Is that
I like-
Freakenstein?
Here, I'll show you the box again. It's like this.
It's my
I don't read Chinese
Yeah,
or
that's my
Japanese,
bad.
whatever it is, but
That's
it
my
does
bad.
not
They put out a
say.
blue version too.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually get that too because I just was looking at it. It's actually like $10 cheaper for the blue version. So I'm like, okay, why not, right? But
Yeah, I'm gonna get that too. It's like $35, right?
yeah, and like
Oh wow, I didn't know it was that cheap.
it's die casts. There's die casts in here, guys. So and there's
Ooh,
also
nice.
pins, which I love. I love pins. Okay,
That's in MP44's trailer too.
yeah. Oh yeah, I do have the trailer right here. I can show you real quick. If I can get this stupid thing open, it never wants to open right for me. Come on. But so here is opening and start that through. And he does.
Very nice.
It's great that it fits.
I'm I'm actually working on a stop animation video for him because I was doing it for Skylinks and the new Predaking, but
Yep.
because he's so heavy, over time the joints fell, and now I try to lift them up and they just keep falling. So I got to retighten everything. That is a flaw that I find that's in this. The first flaw I found in this
Which
guy.
one? You talking about the Skylinks?
No. The Predaking, the Thunder King here. He's
Okay.
he's so beefy and heavy that I had his arms up holding the gun and the sword, and now it slowly just came down over time, and I just haven't
Okay,
noticed.
you're talking
but
about the
now-
Kang toy. You're talking about the Kang
Yeah, that's-
toys
Yeah.
Predaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kang Toys Predaking, everybody, we've only heard good things about it. So now you're reporting that there are some joint tolerance issues or joint
Yeah.
strength issues.
I just think I need to tighten the screws, but the problem is to do that, I have to transform every one of them back into the robot mode to do that.
Yeah,
So,
and those are complex figures.
yes. And like, I didn't ever want to touch them after I got them into the, Thunder King because it was just so much time doing it. Like, it was ridiculous. So
I
now I
stole
got to
mine.
go through that, do it again.
TF Johnny, do you have the Kang Toys set?
Yeah, I had 4 of them, and I just ended up selling them. I mean, they're very good quality, big pieces.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know. They're kind of too stylized for me.
Yeah.
They're not nice, and
I like
ended
the
up
side.
coming
I didn't go in on that set for that reason because they just they're not G1 enough for me. But I do like the scale. Like I like when the combiner individual limbs are the same height as our main bots, as Prime,
Yeah.
Megatron, etc. So I like that they're doing that.
But to your point, though,
Masterpiece scale.
Professor, I do want a Predaking. I need a Predaking masterpiece in the collection. I really do.
I
don't know.
I have the oversized Jin Bao. That's my stand-in.
That's a good option. I think I might look into that actually.
Yeah, I mean it works in terms of for display and scale. It doesn't have the quality for handling and feel, but just if you need it on the shelf and it looks like G1 Predaking and it scales, more or less with the Zeta scale. So,
And I haven't
mine
heard anything of
just
any
sits
other
there.
companies coming out with anything. I mean, unless you guys heard of something on the masterpiece level.
no.
I just heard rumors about Fans Toys doing it, but they never did it.
They will eventually. Steven, what do you got there? It looks
Loch
like
Ness Monster.
Yeah, it looks
That
like
is
it reminds me of like a connecting type of robot that
That's
you would buy.
Age of Extinction Slug, I
You
believe.
said the Loch Ness Monster.
yeah. That's what it looks like.
Well, it's funny that you guys were mentioning it in terms of the sizing for Predaking, because Freakenstein and I, yesterday we were having a conversation about combiner toys and stuff, and I know he was saying he's not a fan of the G1 Predaking, but it's I'm a fan. I mean, I'm not a fan of it. But I'm not a fan of G1 Superion, even though I have him, just because...
What?
I agree with that.
You guys
I
are
agree
both
with
fired.
that.
His legs are just so... His legs are unstable.
horrible.
But, and also when you think of, like, G1 Devastator, between Hook and Long Haul, like, that's kind of, like, the weakest point. I mean, it was amazing... Yeah, amazing having him when we're 12, but it's, like, really, engineering-wise, it wasn't done well. But the one thing I completely forgot about, out of all the combiners, Predaking's the only one where every character is the same size.
Yes.
I didn't think
Well, let me explain why I don't like
Predaking and
G1.
Devastator.
Yeah,
Oh, yes,
this-
and Devastator.
Yeah, so let me explain why I don't like the Predaking from G1. To me, it was supposed to be animals, and in the cartoon, when they were animals, they weren't so boxy. But when you got the toy, it was just overly boxy when I got it. And it was just like, it doesn't look right with my other combiners. It just did not fit in.
nutshell, though.
That's why I didn't like him, but I still have him. Like, come on. I'm 100% G1, but I'm, like I said about this Predaking, this is what I would think of. If they redid Transformers today, this would be the style that they would be doing it in. You know what I mean? That's why I appreciate that one, is because that's what it would be like. Same with well, we already talked about this before off camera, the new aerial bots, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. That's what they would look like. Yeah, that's it.
Honestly, so those King, that Thunder King, the Predacons Frankenstein is talking about, the only reason I got those and I started collecting them, and I got up to number 4 before, getting rid of them.
Yeah.
It's just because I thought the G1 Predaking was the best combiner by far for me, in my opinion. And I wanted some kind of representation of one of my favorite combiners in my collection.
Yeah.
There's nothing else out there other than like Voyager scale, and I wanted a masterpiece like diecast type representation.
I think in combined mode, if we're talking about actual G1 molds, I think there's no question that the combined Predaking is a better combined toy than any other combiner. The closest one might be the Seacons. Actually, look pretty good combined.
Yeah.
But the rest of the combiners, they don't really hold a candle to Predaking.
Yeah, Poseidon. That's an underrated combiner actually.
Yeah,
People don't
yeah, that's
realize
good. That's a good combiner.
Because it's
Oh,
that
and
again.
Abominus. I mean, I like. Oh, actually, Abominus is a really good combiner because Hungar as the core bot actually works really well as an articulated figure. So
Right.
Computron isn't bad. I didn't think Scattershot. Computron was okay.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he's okay. Yeah. I think they did get better. Actually, they did get better as they,
I always considered the
So look,
Combaticons to be the best ones.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
good.
I love Bruticus. Bruticus was my favorite in terms of like the characters. I think.
So I heard you guys. Someone mentioned earlier about QC issues with some of the mainline releases here lately, like the I guess the Voyager releases. I've been getting most of them, and I got the War. Dawn of War, Ariel and Dion, the 2-pack.
Oh, interesting.
Does anybody have that?
No, it hasn't shown out yet, but
No,
I'm curious
interesting.
about
So
it.
you open it, Jonathan, and
No.
mess around. Dion sucks, man. I mean, like,
Does he?
Wow.
the arms just fall off.
Oh man.
Oh, interesting. Because I noticed, because the arms are supposed to come off because the mold started as Cup, Studio Series Cup, and you were able to pull his arms off like when he got messed up fighting the squid in the movie.
Exactly. No, they fall off. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Horrible.
but they were on there pretty tight on my copy, and then I got Orion Pax, which was a retool of him, and I noticed his arms were a little bit looser, but they still stayed on, but I could pop them off way easier. So I guess on Dion, the mold decays just continued, so they're just really loose.
I
So
wonder why
are they
though, if they're
using-
the same mold.
Are
No,
they
I don't
using the
understand.
mold from Buzzworthy Cup since that was supposed to fall apart?
Well,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had no issues with Cup. I had no issues with Orion Pax, and I have all of them. But,
Well, it's a problem in toy production in general. I've heard it called mold decay. If you run a figure lots and lots of times, then the tooling starts to degrade a little bit.
Interesting.
So if a figure gets repainted a lot, on the later releases you might see joints that are loose, tolerances that are not as good, stuff like that, just because the steel molds get worn out over time. And sometimes there's efforts to keep them refreshed and renewed so that doesn't happen. But a lot of times, if you're buying like repaint number 6 of something, it's possible that it might be kind of loose at that point. And I've had this happened with third-party figures as well. I used to have the Make Toys Generation 2 Starscream, and that was a floppy mess because they done all the Seekers before they got to him. So sometimes that happens.
wow, that makes sense. 'Cause that mold is
Well, I did hear that they fixed the back wheels on the Minotaur, so if you get the pack, it's supposed to be a better Motor Master than the one that came in the individual box.
Yeah, interesting. I wonder about that.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned about the molds, because there's actually one guest who's going to be on next week, but I asked him to come on tonight as part of the discussion, which was actually tied into. Let me just quickly go back about a post that was sent out about Make Toys. Which I know some of you guys, being more of the third party guys and the KO guys, will have more insight on this. But also with the guest who he's just gonna kind of come in and add to what you guys are saying. He knows about he does 3D printing, but he also mentions that the cost that say Hasbro or these companies have to put in to create the molds for reproducing these toys, eventually the molds do wear out. And that's where the QC issues start to come in.
Yeah, this is
But
like
they have to
a
know
known
this.
thing.
Like, after the 5th time of using the same mold, you should just replace the mold.
Well, look,
Yeah.
aren't the molds made out of metal? I mean, I'm kind of confused. And it's molded
Yeah.
plastic, correct?
Yeah, and they're made of metal, and you're pulling. If you pour like 7,000 different batches of molten plastic into it, it starts to wear out, even if it's made of metal.
Yeah, it's aluminum.
Yeah.
Most of it's aluminum.
Oh, interesting.
And then also when you factor in with these companies, they're repurposing some of the characters. So in a sense, they're using that mold like twice the amount of times. Like say for, like a Red Alert Sideswipe type of character. Like how many times did they produce Red Alert? How many times did they produce Sideswipe? So that mold is just, they're using the mold as much as they can until it wears out, but they're not replacing it when it does wear out.
Yeah. Now I don't know how much of this is truth because PR spin, but back when John Warden was the guy running the Hasbro stuff, people were asking him why some of the Walmart G1 reissues were so expensive, and he was like, because we actually had to fix the molds. We had to recast them because they were so decayed. So some of the expense had to do with the costs of making that happen. Because they were like 80s molds and they were like not usable anymore.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I wonder if that's where the
they were expensive because they were trying to make money. That's why they were
expensive.
Yeah.
Johnny, I think you're right. Johnny, I think you're right.
Well, look,
Diana's orange does feel a little bit loose, but Ariel feels tight.
Mm-hmm.
My copy is horrible, and I went on Reddit, right? I'm like, I wonder
Let's
if
give
this just me.
Let's give Freakenstein a full
Everyone is
screen to
having
show
the
us the
same
roller.
issue.
Oh, that is a guy. That is a Sunbow looking guy.
So, and this is $35 US. Like this is a good bang for buck. You know what? We should do
It's already in queue.
What's that?
He's sold out on.
I'm gonna get this.
Sold out.
He's sold out on Show's East store, but they do have a blue and red one in Prime's colors.
Oh, nice.
And you can also, I know everybody likes using Shoji and all that kind of stuff like that, but trust me when I say this, guys, check out bumbusbee.net. You're going to find stuff that you've never seen before. It's a good site, and it's fair prices, and they ship within 11 days. Most of the time, I get stuff in 11 days.
You're talking about rare pieces. Yeah, so Bumbus Bee, that's a cool option. Okay, all right, we're all showing off stuff now. Looks like we're in the show and tell section.
IDW
what do you
roller.
got?
Yeah, it's IDW roller.
Oh, I never saw that.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Okay,
Yeah,
can
I saw
you
that on
transform that
PS4.
for us and show us the alt mode?
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes too long to transform them, but
yeah, no, you got time. Take a half an hour. Show us in half an hour.
The interesting story behind that version of the character is in the IDW comics, he was Optimus's old friend who went missing in the early days of the war, and the implication was he named the little buggy after his friend.
yeah.
Oh, cool.
He also comes with the to that episode, Anthony. He comes with the dynamite.
Mika, Techno Mika. Sorry, Johnny.
Nice. I was going to give you a shout out for saying that the other half of my Scoop Target Master is on his way because he was able to hook me up with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. So just before I, introduce Decepticity and Toy Warp, quickly catch up on the comments. Where Brian on YouTube says the Transformers I Collected Studio Series Legacy War for Cybertron Kingdom and mainline with a total of 52 figures, and I'm a young collector.
Brian.
Brian, I guess the question is, how young are you, and when did you get into Transformers? And
why did you?
Yeah, and he says, I can't imagine how many figures I'm going to have when I'm very old.
Too many.
Which is always a subjective statement when someone young says, was like, oh, you guys are old. And I'm like, well, if that person's old, how old am I? But let us know how old you are. When did you get in?
So look, guys, real fast. Can I show you my Dion?
Be nice. Be nice.
And how loose this thing is?
Hey, I was born last night, so I don't know.
Who was I talking to at TFCon?
I'm just going to shake him a little bit. Hold on.
Earthquake.
Oh,
I don't know. It seems okay.
Oh no, Megatron's attacking.
There you go, man.
Wow.
I do like I do like the unintentional good character design of the fact that because the Cup figure was supposed to come apart, you have Orion, Pax, and Dion able to come apart because they got friggin' killed in their backstory.
So Mariano says, I like Power of Prime's Titan, Predaking, and the DNA up kits, and also says I got the Dawn of War 2-pack. Ariel is good, but yes, Dion's arms are too loose. His arms slip off easy.
Yeah. For the record, if you take some crazy glue, just put a layer over that peg and wait a day, it'll tighten it up enough to stay on just fine. It's super easy to do.
Uh-oh, Spin, you should not have asked Brian.
They said you could use floor polish.
I told you shouldn't have done that.
Well,
now we're in trouble.
I remember Boo Brian, as I believe Freakenstein interviewed him couple weeks ago. And he said, I started to like Transformers when I was 5.
Ooh, nice.
And
Listen, Brian, when you're watching the show, you're 13.
2011?
You're not 12. You're over 13 when you're watching the show.
God.
You're over 13.
This guy doesn't remember the first Bay movie, much less the third one.
That's like, when you take your
He's
children
never even
to
heard of 1986.
you take your children to the restaurant and like tell them that you're 7.
I tried that with my kids, and they completely busted me out.
1986 was so long ago. Gosh, you guys are dinosaurs.
You guys are dinosaurs.
It was from another century. When my kids ask how things were in the 1900s, I will smack you.
Don't make me have to wake you in
All right, gentlemen. This has been very exciting, but we have a new guest to feature. Let's give him the floor.
And right. Toy Warp, be nice.
Why?
That's why.
You dangle fresh meat in front of me and you tell me to be nice? What's up, Deceptickitty?
Hey, Toy Warp. Hey, guys. How are you guys?
We're good. How are you doing, man?
Good. Nice to see you, Spin.
Nice being you and talking to you. So Deceptickitty. He's a frequent I guess what would be the word, like we met at TFCon. Yeah, con goer. We met at TFCon last year.
Transformers traveler.
Yep.
This is very easy to spot and notice because he always has a companion with him.
Yes, and what is your companion's name? Oh,
her name's Lana Deceptickitty. She's actually here right now, chilling with me. I have a little perch right above the camera. Maybe she'll come into view. I don't want to disturb her because she's going to hang out the whole show if I leave her alone.
Yeah, she'll come in when she's ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Decepticitty, I don't know if you probably know that there's a lot of cats featured on this show. They pop in and out of various screens here and there.
I've seen, yeah.
So you're gonna feel right at home.
Except for
Toy Warp. Not with me today. I think she's decided to hang out with Jess for the night instead of me.
I can never have over here.
My cats are not allowed on this floor.
Well, didn't they break something one time, Bill?
I have the UFC Millennium Falcon over here. Well, I also have the UFC Slave 1 that used to be up on a shelf. And back when I allowed them up here, one of them jumped up there and knocked it to the ground. So it fell 9 feet to the ground and exploded. That's 4,200 pieces that I have to put back together. It's still in a box. I haven't gone back to it yet.
What does the UFC stand for?
Oh,
I actually have no idea, but it's the Masterpiece series of, and it's UCF. I may have said it backwards.
UCF. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, the UFC because I'm UFC. We know what that is.
So before we get on,
how excited to say UFC. I'm like UFC. What are you talking about UFC?
The UCF Lego kits are to scale of the Lego Man.
Oh, nice.
So the ship that they're with is in scale to if they were a 6-foot person. That's what the Masterpiece series of Legos means.
Don't you mean 6 foot and a half?
Yeah.
Since we always had the halves at the show.
So, Spin, you said that you tell your kids, say you're 7 and all that kind of stuff. But I got a hack for everybody that's listening and everybody here. All you got to do if you want to eat off the kids menu is say, "I'm diabetic. I can't eat that much food."
That
It works every time, man.
that works.
Yep. How's it
Anthony,
going?
what are
Anyway,
you
we all
doing?
just kind of stomped all over our guests. So
Yeah.
you see, you
Yeah,
brought
so-
up cats.
So back
brought
so
up
on the
cats.
Photographing this
And-
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, one
guys,
second.
let's
Just to
stay on
answer
the
what I'm
topic
doing.
here.
I've been photographing this guy for review, and because he's such a big figure, he took me way longer. So we're rolling, and I'm still taking photos. I got my booth right here as we go.
Multitasking.
Let's plan
Okay.
a
Yeah, so one of the
screenshot
TFCon
of
exclusives.
that blue roller.
Oh,
Sorry, what'd you
okay.
say, Mr. Magnus?
I will get to that.
Yeah.
But
No,
anyway,
I will get to that in a moment. And as we, welcome in Decepticitty, so the post that I seen on Instagram, I believe,
there she is.
says that old Make Toys products seem to be on pre-order, like Guardia Contact Shot and Divine the Shooter. These are
Contact shot.
These are knockoffs and not official Make Toys products. Make Toys will soon state something about this. So you,
I
so
just ordered one of those. I didn't know that.
Which one? The contact shot?
Yeah, I just ordered. It was $71. I was
Oh
wondering
my
why-
God! Yeah, that's definitely a KO.
Yeah, because it was $200 normally with
I know,
chrome
I
dome
know.
and the hard hat. didn't know that.
I have them all, except but not
Wow.
the contact shot. So yeah.
Same
All right.
thing.
So Decepticitty, do you have some further information other than just random speculation? Or if you'd like to do random speculation, we do a lot of that here. So over to you, bro.
Hey, no, I don't have anything to speculate really about that.
Are you going to order contact shot?
No, I not in my budget at the moment.
But it's normally $200 and it's on sale for $71.
I want to see what the quality is when they come in. Like if they're
No, they're gonna
knockoffs
be
of
good.
these.
No, they're
I'll
going to be
post
good.
them when I get it. It hasn't shipped yet, but I'll post pictures.
Mr. Magnus, are you going to order any of these?
What are they? Well, what are we talking about?
Somebody
It's the
want to
Make
pull them
Toys
up?
Headmaster.
Can we?
Okay.
Yeah, are they on Show Z? What are they on? Where are you ordering them from?
Yeah, I ordered mine from Show Z.
All right, can we pull them up
Well,
on
I have
Show
the
Z?
other two like you, Professor.
What's it called? I
Yeah.
got Show Z brought up right now.
Contact
Make-
shot. Make Toys contact shot.
yeah, Guardia, Contact Shot, and Divine Shooter.
And what characters are these supposed to be?
I don't know who
Hard
the
Hat,
other two
Chrome
are.
Dome, and
Hardhead, Chrome Dome, and Point Blank.
Point
Oh,
Okay.
Headmasters and Target Masters.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, those old guys.
Oh, they're big. They're not
Oh,
little.
that's
They're
sharp.
All
Yeah,
right, so
they're
I got a question for everybody here. Does anybody have the Primus toy that they did for the it was another mold for the Hasbro Unicron before the Hasbro Pulse Unicron?
I mean, it wasn't. It was a brand new tooling. It was the same size as Unicron, but it was new.
Yeah. Does anybody have that?
Looking good, Decepticitty. And Steven, we're watching you too.
Yeah, it's Inferno. No, I don't have that.
No one has it, eh?
No, I'm not a big, huge size toy guy. Generally, this guy that I'm photographing is one of the biggest guys I have. So,
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm the opposite of that. That's why I don't have any room in here.
Yeah. We like
Like
big
every
butts. So I've got. So does anybody? So you guys, it looks like you all. I see 3 HasLab Unicrons on screen right now.
yeah.
Nobody's displaying them in planet mode.
Yeah,
If you,
that's
I
how
don't know if you
have
can
mine,
see.
but-
Oh, do you have them? You got both?
Oh,
Okay,
there we
boom.
go.
Okay, so here's my So take a look. Spin. Give me a full screen.
Oh.
If
Hold
you
on.
can see, so I don't know if you can see way in the
Yes,
back
I
where
can.
I'm pointing. I got my Bruticus, so I got Bruticus up there on this cabinet in the back there. don't know if you can see that far back, but I'm wondering if I have enough clearance between the ceiling and that cabinet to fit my Unicron up there in planet mode.
No.
No?
I don't think
You,
so. No.
you can
Well,
see
with
right
the
away?
rings, probably not.
Not with the
Yeah,
rings.
there's about... No? You can tell.
No.
It's about... There's about
Rings
2
make-
feet there.
So like
Nah.
when it's
How
on
much?
the-
Okay, you could take me off full screen. How many inches do I
Okay,
need?
so
Like, I
so
need
when
3
you
feet?
have it on the stand as
It's
robot
about
mode,
28 inches.
yeah, but when you have
30
it on the
inches.
stand as robot mode, you got to add like maybe an inch on top of his head, and then plus the rings around, which go up to be like 6 inches above that too as well.
Right.
So
So, TF
like
Johnny, you're saying like 38? What did you say?
Yeah,
36?
so I wear a size 14 shoe because I'm 6'5" almost, and I wear a 14, so it's about 2 of my shoes, a little bit more. So that's
Okay.
roughly 30 inches.
Okay, 30
Yeah.
inches. Yeah, you're right. So 2 feet's not going to do it. You need 2.5 feet.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I
That's why I
mentioned
got
this
mine.
at one point.
yeah, that's why I got mine in robot mode, and plus I tried transforming it back, and pieces kept falling off. So I was like, nope, you're staying.
Okay,
So-
and how much height how tall is he in robot mode?
I've never had
robot-
robot mode. Nope, keep them in planet mode.
So what is that behind? Oh, so that's a studio cell, the one that I'm seeing
This is-
on your wall in robot mode.
That's
That's
I don't know if you can see it or not.
that's a studio cell, yeah.
Studio
Yeah,
cell,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would say about 28 inches. 28 inches in
Well, so you
robot
think
mode.
28 in both robot mode and planet mode is the same
No,
height?
no. I honestly think planet mode is more because the rings go up almost 6 inches, right?
Well, Johnny just said it's 30 inches. You know, he's got
Yeah,
two
I'll
of his
Google
big
it real
two
quick.
two of his big shoes. It's the height of
Yeah.
2 of his big shoes.
Yeah. Well, you know what they
Wait.
say, guys, with big shoes, you know. That's
All right,
another
so
story.
yep. So as Brad says on YouTube, yes, I've watched the G1 show and Beast Wars Transformers from back then, and also says, is it me or do I hate Prime versus Prime buying figures way before they come out and making some of us mad that he has it?
Hey, I appreciate the early looks myself.
Yeah, I like it. I
got
like it. A lot,
contact,
some we here on Children of Primus are in the minority apparently by defending Prime versus Prime's prerogative to commit illegal activities if he so desires. It's not nobody else is going to jail for it. Just enjoy it. You know,
Yeah,
if
so-
he's taking the risk to show stuff off to you, why are you going to complain? That's my take on it.
So I just measured it, and it is actually 28 inches
Okay, and that's in robot mode. All right.
in robot
So-
mode.
Yeah.
Brian Benner says, at Freakenstein, did I see my stop motion with ROTB, Bumblebee, and Optimus Prime? Did I
No,
see
I did
my...
not
Maybe
yet.
he means, did you see his stop motion?
No, I did not yet. I've been so busy. I will get to it. I promise. I will.
All right, cool.
and Charlie
Hey,
C.
I just sent you a direct message on Messenger of a picture of mine in planet mode, standing
Okay.
beside. If you can give me the full screen, there, D.
Oh, yeah, sure.
There we go.
Standing in planet mode, it's standing beside the studio cell, and his center ring is right at his eye level.
Oh, yeah.
Now I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, big difference.
So yeah, it's saying officially 27 inches in planet mode. It looks like.
Okay.
Hasbro saying 27 inches.
It's funny you all are talking about him. A review is making waves now amongst social media through the pleasant British reviewer that I'm very fond of. Finally
Fancy,
released his HasLab Unicron review, and he
I like
kind of
that.
goes through an. Yeah, he kind of goes through an. I mean, first he looks at all the other Unicrons just on general principle, like he runs through them all, and then he just kind of. Yeah, he just kind of has an existential crisis over Unicron, and it's kind of funny, because he's like, in his mind, it was such a pain in the ass to transform. He does the usual thing where he runs through it really fast, and they're like, and now some outtakes, and it's just video of him transforming him, being like, Like, where the F do the feet go? Oh my god, why is this piece in and this piece not in? Yeah. It's really good. This is the same guy who famously gave, like, Robus and Optimus, like, a bad review, and then after they sent him a free sample, and they were like, A, please take your video down, B, please send it back to us, and he was like, no, and yeah, sure, you can have it back.
Wow.
So Charlie's got some additional information. Charlie C says the new Make Toys, he means the new Make Toys figures that are up for sale now at this discounted price. The new Make Toys figures is a factory release, not Make Toys themselves. So if I'm interpreting that correctly, I think what he's saying is that Make Toys had their figures produced at this factory, and then the factory has illegally either held some of their figures or produced more of those figures, and the factory is selling those figures directly to the public and cutting Make Toys out, even though it's their design, their figures. That seems
works
to be
for me.
what's going on.
I can care less.
Love and war. It's love and war.
That's what's going to happen with China.
That does not sound legal.
Well, I mean...
none of this is legal. This
yeah,
is,
you're getting into the point where it's
the
like
character
third-party
likeness.
figures. Yeah.
You know.
But
that is unfortunate if Make Toys is getting screwed, because we are rooting for Make Toys, and they are. I think we talked about this with TM Reviews last week. We were talking about like the smaller companies that are struggling. I think we touched on that.
Yeah.
And Make Toys is one of them. You know, he was saying how competition is good. And we see a lot of the third-party companies struggling right now. We want to make sure, you know, companies like Make Toys. Well, I can't remember what the other ones were that we talked about.
You know what, Professor? So Make Toys, they were known for their secrets, right? That kind of put them on the map, I would say.
Yeah.
And the competition.
No, I wouldn't say put them on. I mean, they were on the map long before that, but their secrets were a big hit. Anyway, go on. Sorry.
I think in terms of being good, they were good at making secrets. Like, you know what I mean?
Sure. Their secrets were a big hit. Yeah.
Yeah. So they came out first with the better, updated engineering and the look and all that. The only problem was they had small heads. Those Make Toy secrets.
No, yeah, the head sucked. The head sucked.
So they came up with version 2. I got all of them. I got some of the Rainmakers too. The new ones they just put out. I got 2.
Yeah, I got the blue one. Did you get the purple one?
I got the.
We're getting some feedback.
I don't have the purple one. The purple one is hot link. I have Sunstorm and Acid Storm. Those are the 2 I have.
Trash. Those are boring ones.
But I mean, you got DS. They came up with their secrets, which are great. We talked about that last week. MP52, I like the mode. I know they're a little shorter, but they're both better than Make Toys, you know? And, you know,
as
right now,
third party nowhere here.
The last Headmaster.
What do they say about Fans Hobby? Because I don't know anything about them, but I do know I like this guy that I've been taking photos of, and he's from them, so... What's
Fans Hobby's doing fine. Nobody's knocking off Fans Hobby. They're doing okay.
They put on some interesting releases, man. I like that naval Optimus. Pretty cool.
Oh, are these the guys that did the Masterpiece like Armada guys? They were Fans Hobby?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
I think Steven's trying to get in and say something. What were you saying, Steven?
Since you two, you and Johnny were just mentioning about third-party seekers,
yeah,
I'm sure there's a way more of them that don't have like the official classics and even the more recent stuff with the cones, the jet cones on the back of the head. Are there any that I'm sure there is that the cone actually compacts into the chest and it's not just hanging off the back like a ponytail?
You know, now that you've defined it that way, I think there should be a seeker design that leans into that, like them having a ponytail out of their cone.
But that's like an homage to the G1, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kind of an
G1.
Yeah.
So Brian says, or is asking at Mr. Magnus, are all of those seekers on your top shelf?
Yeah.
Answer is
yeah.
yes.
Sorry, I muted myself. Yes, those are all of the Siege Tetrajets that have been released.
The Siege Curs.
Siege curse. Here,
Cool.
check,
And
check,
then-
check out what I did with my Tetrajets. Give me a full screen.
Wait.
Showing off jets. I'm about to show mine off.
Oh. we
Wait,
have a
where
big
did he-
jazz.
Somebody went blank.
By the way, while we're looking at a big picture of jazz, shout out to Origin Jazz, who I reviewed last Monday on the website. This is legitimately a really, really good figure, and I think everybody should get one, even if you're not into the Origin stuff or the mainline stuff. I think it's just even better than the Studio Series guy. They just happen to really snap and make something really posable, really expressive, and he happens to change into a spaceship.
Oh, yeah,
Do you
I'm
agree
there
that
too. I haven't opened
in
them up yet.
mode he kind of looks like a shot vac?
A little bit.
Oh, TF Johnny's showing his Seekers as well.
I don't know
Oh,
if you
nice.
can see Earthrise, Wolf and Cybertron. Those guys.
Bumblebee.
Yeah. Oh, this is what you were talking about.
Yeah, Origin Jazz.
And my masterpiece. Where are they? That's the MP52 KO Ghost Star Scream. It kind of sucks, to be honest with you.
Oh, is that the clear one or not?
Yeah,
Is that clear?
it's. I like the MP11 Ghost Star Scream. The color of the translucent plastic a lot better. That's just clear.
That's not the translucent one. Which one is that?
There's no
Okay.
tint to it. It's just clear, and I don't like it.
Yeah. Okay.
$30.
All right, Spin. Let me get full screen.
Ooh, that's a good way to display them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So can you see? It's hard to get what's in the back there.
Oh, hey. Those are the
Okay.
Earthrise ones. That's a good idea.
Yeah. I need to mix mine more. I keep everything separated. I like that Matrix. What Matrix is that?
That's a 3D printed matrix that I bought off somebody.
Nice.
Just saw
Awesome,
like a
that's
homemade
awesome.
thing. Yeah. But yeah, so there, you got the concept. And here's
Well,
the big guys. Here, let me show you the setup that I got here. Give me the full screen. I'll give you the ones around. So here's these top guys, the Seekers, as I was showing you. These are my oversized Autobots, and then some Decepticons, and the Autobots are all hanging out here.
My stuff's a little bit too much of a mess to do a walking tour right now, but it is not that extensive, and it's mostly mainline things. I love those Dinobots, though.
Yeah, they're dope. Love those guys too. Definitely highlight.
So
Yeah,
it's-
we all looking at Seekers. I've been thinking of getting it for customizing. Like the Jets, the Blue Angels. Basically, they look like Thundercracker, but instead of the red to him, it would be yellow.
Mhm.
I've been thinking of getting the Combiner Wars Thundercracker, and then paint his red bits yellow, and then look up pictures of Blue Angel jets, and then make him an Autobot, just as a custom. Because I used to see those from time to time growing up. Those Blue Angels.
That'd be a good
It'll be
way
an
to do it,
easy
yeah.
custom.
So Brian on YouTube says, "Have a spectacular rest of your day and tomorrow. See you on the stream." Mariano says, "I like the Origins Jazz. My local Target put him in clearance for $12.50."
Jesus, everybody get
Nice.
one for that price. Just
Yeah.
I don't even care if you're not even into that line. Just
I think Brian is saying the same, so it's still here. So yeah, if you have a Target, which we no longer have in Canada, go run and get that Jazz. So as D was showing the 3D printed Matrix, I want to throw this back over to Decepticitty in terms of the conversation we had yesterday. Give everyone an idea, like how much a mold costs for say a third party company or even for Hasbro to
I'm
produce
interested.
a character.
Okay, so from what I understand, and like I'm piecing this information together from like different toy companies, not just Hasbro and Takara, because Hasbro has a really close relationship with the Takara Tomy factory. So with, for example, and figures, and this is from the Spectre Creative YouTube channel, they like to have in an assortment, say there's 8 figures in an assortment, like 6 or 7 out of the 8 are going to have shared parts, like their arms are going to have the shared parts, right? So they're reducing the cost of manufacturing the mold. So and only one of those of the assortment is going to be a fully tooled figure, and that could cost somewhere between $50,000 to $100,000 just for the mold, fully tooled figure. And for, I forget the term, but a partially tooled figure would be between like $10,000 to $30,000 type of thing. So that's
Somebody write
really
that
expensive.
down.
And then you have to consider like the paint app and the accessories. That's a big expense in itself, the paint apps, because you have to make the, what do you call it, like the masking, so that it can be done in a factory, a line assembly type of thing. There's a really cool video, and I think I sent it to you, Spin, on Instagram, with Transformers Factory, and you could see how the manufacturing process, and it's a long video, but
oh, that's cool. I want to see that.
Yeah, okay, I'll post it.
So
I'll post it. I'll send
this is for you, Decepticitty. You want me to see this?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, let me
Making a mold of
zoom
that.
in there. All right. There we go.
So whenever
So we
people
were
complain-
discussing.
Whenever people complain
like-
about repaints and retools, I'm like, think about that math, those numbers.
So we were talking earlier about this, and I want to make a mold of this myself, but do it in same type of foam that you'd get for like the pool duels and stuff, because it's durable. And it's pretty rugged. It could take a beating, and it holds its shape. So,
and that's 3D printed as well. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, this is a 3D printed. It came in like 10 different pieces. I had to put it together, but you know.
That's
like
a project. That's a big
cool
project.
little
Yeah, that'd
material.
be cool.
Well, I guess over to you, Decepticitty. A gun that, like the Optimus gun that Frankenstein had, how long would that take to print? Like that
would
gun.
take
That's a severe print.
days. That would, okay, first of all, like someone, if you're selling 3D print stuff like that, it'd be nice to have like a print farm, to have 4 or 5 3D printers printing parts at the same time.
I mean, everybody else
printing
doesn't.
one printer. I have quite a few printers, but only 2 at a time. So this one, I would say that must have, the guy must have paid at least $60 in filaments, and it's taken a week to print that thing.
Actually, it's print on order. So within 2 days, he had it printed and shipped, because he prints on order. So he must have a lineup of printers doing it, right?
Yeah,
And
he's
then
probably
he
got.
pieced
He's
it all
probably.
together.
He's got a serious setup to do that.
But for the price
Is
I
it
paid
solid
for
or is
that,
it hollow?
It's
gotta
solid.
be hollow.
No, it's all solid except for this piece right here. Let me see if I can get it off right here. This is the only piece, but it's because I don't know if you can see inside there. Like, I'm trying to get the angle, but you see how it's got the
Oh
groove.
wow, he put riflings in it too.
Yeah, so that's why that's like that. But other than that, it's pretty solid all the way through. You can tell that you can tell that it's got like the grid pattern, not fully solid, but there is a grid pattern to keep it solid. It's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Like it's not light, but
Yeah, it's not solid all the way through. What you're saying is it's latticed on the inside.
Yes.
Right. It's probably got a hex gold in it.
Yeah.
Freak, just by weight of it, would you say it's 60-70%?
Actually, let me go weigh it real quick.
Yeah,
So
I
I
was
think
wondering
it's
what the whole
important
thing weighed.
Okay, because if they printed that off 70%,
No way. No way.
Decepti D, would y'all agree? Probably 12-14 hours per piece
Yeah. Yeah. It's not
at
gonna,
70%.
Yeah, something like that. That makes Makes sense. To
Yeah.
tell you the truth, like FDM filament printing is something I haven't done in a long time. That's a different type of 3D printing that I'm into. I started doing that in maybe 2012, making my own RepRap 3D printers. And it was a fun ride, but it's a lot of tweaking and adjusting. There's a lot of belts and axes that you have to be concerned with. So I've switched over to the dark side of resin 3D printing.
Yeah,
So what's
evil chemicals.
Okay, so
chemicals.
It's 6.5 pounds.
Cool.
Yeah, it's like 2 kilograms. More than 2
so it's
kilograms of filament. Three spools. So that's like 6.
damn near. It's almost 3 rolls of filament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Decepticitty, do you want
to put y'all in perspective? Hey D, check this guy out.
That's dope. What's
Okay, this is from BattleTech.
Right. Okay. 3D printed.
This is 3D printed. This guy's at 90%.
Okay.
Okay, just as big as he is, took 9 hours.
Yeah, there you go.
9
hours, yeah.
Real slow cooking, eh? You got to set it and forget it.
But he's one print. There's no pieces to him.
Okay,
No,
how do you do it? So what is that? 6 inches tall? 5
No,
inches?
he's 8. He's 8.
Oh, he's 8 inches. Okay. All right.
How
So
does that
Decepticitty.
plastic feel, Mr. Magnus?
What'd you ask, Johnny?
I was asking Mr. Magnus, how does that plastic feel?
It feels exactly like one of these.
90% it's going to be heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy. This thing's probably close to a half a pound.
Well, actually, I'm gonna throw.
It's about the size. It's about the weight of a full Coke can.
Well, I'm gonna throw a question to you guys, because myself, I'm just getting into 3D printing, and I actually have to connect with Decepticitty to figure out our printers. So, for anyone else listening, watching, who's not, who hasn't been in the world of 3D printing, when you guys talk about percentages, what does that mean?
That's percentage of the fill. The outside's going to be solid, but you don't have to put inside structure on it. You could just do an outside, but a lot of the times they'll collapse on themselves because the layers below it have it cooled enough to hold the weight.
Okay.
And so you put fill inside of it, and it makes it stronger, makes it more solid. And if it's something that you're going to mess with a lot, you want more fill in it so that you don't just pick it up and crush it.
Got it.
It's about hollowness, is what you're talking about, basically.
So,
Correct.
Decepticitty, is this what you do for a living, or
Me?
Decepticitty? Yeah, is this what you do for a
No.
living? The 3D printing type stuff? Are you just an enthusiast?
3D printing. I'm a big enthusiast. Yeah, I've tried to make a business out of it in different ways. There's all kinds of different ways: selling 3D printers, selling parts that are 3D printed. But no, it's just for fun. I really enjoy it, and there's always money to be made in it at some point, I'm sure. So I'm going to keep at it.
So here's the question. Let's give Decepticitty a full screen. We're gonna throw to you with some 3D printing questions.
Actually,
but basically, here's what you've told us so far, Decepticitty, is that you started out with the FDM printers. You switched to resin. Bill's showing us he's got a 3D printed matrix as well. So, but here's the question for Decepticitty. So why did you move over from the FDM to the resin prints? And if you want to do a show and tell, you want to show us anything you've designed, printed recently.
You know what? That's funny you ask. I'm going to get something to show you right now. You're showing off your meat.
Okay, while you're quickly running and getting it,
While he's doing that, I'll show these real quick.
Oh, nice. I like that blue joint.
Ooh, nice.
So,
All right.
Charlie has
Flat
a
cover.
question for Professor. Are your Dinobots Gigapower or Fans toys?
Yeah, so Charlie, so the ones you see on display behind me down there, these are the Gigapower Dinobots. I do have the Fans Toys Dinobots mint in sealed box, and I'm selling them for $1,000 each. Anybody who wants to buy one.
RJ Eagle says, "What up, gang? RJ in the house. Good to see everyone." Freak 1978 says, "I did it when I first started, but sold out of all my 3D printers." And RJ Eagle says, "Decepticitty, great info. I don't know much about 3D printing, but what's the cost of the printer needed to make these figures, or what printer do you recommend?"
Okay, nice. All right, so he showed us a Matrix,
Optimus
and now
helmet.
we've got an Optimus helmet. So Decepticitty, what figure will that Optimus helmet go to? And did you design
Okay, so
that
that's-
yourself?
So that's part of a bigger project I'm working on. So I really don't want to show off the whole thing yet, but it is an Optimus Prime that I'm
Yes,
working
you
on
do.
with the Matrix in the
Ooh.
chest, like the whole movie theme. And
Is
I
this
just-
no? Clarify.
I
Is this your
find my-
design, or are you tweaking someone else's design?
This is all my design, but I am like ripping off like MP44 has these like flaps that flip up in the hip skirt rather
No,
than
that's
flip
fine.
out.
No, that's not ripping it off. If you're not
Right.
starting with a base mold, if you're just pulling engineering ideas, that's not ripping off.
That's it, and that's what my stint is right now. Like I'm into not so much as collecting Transformers to have like the figures and the names and faces, is but to understand like the changes in engineering and how different companies
Yeah.
do things differently.
We need to do a design off, bro.
Great-
We got to
great
get
one.
together and just like talk
Yeah.
about like we're gonna do this.
That is too cool, man.
Yeah.
That is dope.
Thank you.
I love that.
Right on. Thank you.
Yeah. And so now the reason why you switched, you didn't answer this question, but for the edification of the people listening, right? So trying to build something like this with your FDM prints, you know, you want to tell us why you switched over to the resin printing. What can you do with the FDM printer? Because Spin says he wants to get into printing. You saw that I got the Ender 3 over here. But if I want to start doing what you're doing there, we probably got to do resin prints. Why? You know, tell us why. Maybe for the
So I can
larger
make-
things. I'll tell you what else I want to do. What I want to do is, you know about Trailergate with X-Transbots. They sold us all the Stunticons, and then they wanted to sell us a $200 trailer to combine them. So I think that I'm just going to design my own trailer to combine it, 3D printing. Now, for that project, because that figure is going to be so big, maybe that would be something I would do with FDM prints versus the smaller parts on the resin print. Is that true? Over to you.
Yeah, I would say it could save on cost and time if you were to FDM print it and then finish it by hand, like sand it down, because the difference in FDM printing and resin printing largely is the detail. Like you could see my matrix is a centimeter big in the ball, or no, the total
It's your
size,
helmet
the
that
ball
looked
print.
really impressive.
And
so
the
sharp.
points are so sharp. Exactly, the animated pointy sharp antennas there. Yeah,
that's nice.
The detail thing is why I switched over. And if you were going to print something large like that with a resin printer, it would be more expensive, but there would be a lot less finishing up to do. You would have to spend a lot of money on a big resin printer as well.
Yeah.
And you also have to spend money on like the filters, because it does have a bad smell from what my experience from it. And you got to be careful
Definitely.
around that, because it's kind of
and that's more so with the resin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have it I have its own dark room for 3D printing with the fan in there.
Yeah.
When you do 3D printing, does it start off with like the powdery plastic that like injection molding uses, or does it start off with something else?
Oh, like the pellets? No. So that's more like filament printing. Filament printing is essentially the same or similar materials as the pellets, but it's in a long spaghetti string on a spool. Resin printing, it's mystery chemicals that come from China, and it's UV cure. Yeah, we don't know what's in it. You never know what's in it, right? And there's different
Chemicals
properties.
from
A lot of
China.
the
That
time,
sounds
they're
good.
very. You never know. They're very brittle, right? It is resin. It's like a prototype material, and there are additives you can get to make different properties, but that can be very expensive. $200 a liter, $300 a liter type of thing.
Actually, as you mentioned,
lovely.
like resin material from China, is that the same material that they would send for I guess like for nail salons and everything?
No.
Oh, you acrylic.
That's
so there's
acrylic.
it's so funny you ask, because I definitely know about beauty salons because I own a beauty salon. So there is acrylic nails, and then there's the biogel nails. I think there's a new one that came along after biogel, but no, that would be definitely different type of materials. Acrylic nails is stuff that you might find at the dentist office, though.
Okay, it's just how you described it. I'm like, that sounds similar to what I've seen in like nail salons or within that beauty industry. So I was wondering if it was the same thing.
I guess I would call that. I think it's more of a plaster. Is the acrylic nails, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
We never did acrylic nails in my beauty salon. We were like, no, because that's bad for your health, type of thing. But you're asking if that's what they use in the injection molds? From what I understand, in injection molds, they have these pellets, right? And is it ABS plastic that they use?
Right here.
Oh, let's see.
They're called thermal pellets.
That's exactly right. Yeah,
that looks questionable.
It's thermal pellets, and if you look right here, I just have a piece that I break off pieces of this to make my own blast effects, because you can form this stuff to any shape while it's warm, and you can make your own blast effects. And I have colored one here that I just take pieces out of to make it. So
yeah, exactly. That's
thermoplastic, though, isn't it, Freak?
Yeah, but it's the same type of stuff that they use. It's just that theirs is a higher heated thermoplastic when it comes to plastic injection, because they also use like 70% of recycled plastic as well. So this will bond to it really good.
There are thousands of different types of materials and different tweaks of materials and proprietary materials out there, and that's a whole universe in its own.
Yeah, like I back in the day, I made my own extruder and my own injector and all kinds of stuff, because I wanted to do plastic injection molding myself for some things. And
wow,
I just got too far too fast, and I kind of scrapped the project, and I was like, I could do this a better way, and I went back to the old school ways of like special effects makeup.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. You told me about that you did some special effects makeup there. Yeah.
Yep.
RJ Eagle says, nice cloud raker. I'm still looking for him.
Cloud cover, you mean? Yeah. I haven't seen any of those guys yet here, but it's going to be hard for me not to go all in on those crazy colored guys, because, I say as I'm doing this photo gallery of this guy, how I love my neon crazy colored robots. So the whole Toxitron thing pretty much very strongly appeals to my aesthetic preferences. I even have...
That's the one you got from TFCon, right?
Yeah.
So you've still been working on that, eh?
Yeah. In fact, I was going to say here, Toxitron Collection, they did Watermelon Mirage. I have the old TFCon exclusive that was the exact same thing as what they're putting out in Toxitron right now. They did this a few years back. This is... the Ocular Max Mirage in those same colors.
So, Decepticity, how close in technology of 3D printing are you to being able to make taillights?
Ooh, yeah, this is like real ones.
Like clear taillights with an LED in there?
No, I'm talking the colored taillights. I'm just curious, because I've got some cars that they're very old, and nobody makes taillights for these things, and I'm like, if I could find one 3D printed, would be super. That looks factory.
What I do is like this Optimus Prime I have here is actually clear red resin, right? So what I've done is I've taken clear resin and I've put some urethane additives, and I could make it any color: yellow, orange, red.
Yeah, but what about okay, so it's going to be on a car. It's going to be hitting bumps and stuff like that. The resin right now, from what I know, isn't quite up to par unless you make it really, really thick. Or it's going to crack.
On a real car or a model car?
No, a real car.
Yeah, it would crack, right? Like, it's not up to par
Yeah, it would
yet.
crack. Yeah, it would crack.
Okay.
Unless you bought the expensive resin, it's going to cost you like probably $500 a liter. At that point, you may as well just buy a new taillight.
And if you want to know,
Nobody makes them. That's a problem.
okay, so if you want to know a
Oh,
trick about that, if you take a clear plastic pop bottle and you heat it up with a heat gun and make just the one side of mold of it, right? And then you use your resins to build it up slowly, like paint it on, and keep painting it on until it's thick enough, and you will have your piece. It's just you're gonna have to sand, all that kind of stuff like that. But it will work with the pop bottle. I've done that many times to do stuff like that out of resin. I'd use the pop bottle, heat it up, press it in, almost like a vacuum press, but you're manually doing it, right? You're using rollers or whatnot to get into the creases and all that kind of stuff like that. But then you just keep painting the resin until you get the thickness you want, sand it so it's clear or whatever color you dyed your resin.
so this is a silicone mold here, and what these are blast effects. So essentially, what you want to do is you want to reproduce this tail light, right? And no selling it. So the only way to do it is to take a silicone mold of it, and this actually might be the original blast effect that I took the mold of. So you just take a silicone mold of it, and like Freakenstein was saying, because it's a larger part, you want to use a thin layer of thicker silicone to do rather than potting it like this, right, for small parts, because it's a big part, you want to like paint it on type of thing, and then make a rigid structure mold like that. So Freakenstein actually would know more about how to reproduce your tail light. I do more small parts. I guess that's my forte.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
But you can also do it this way. This would be the cheapest way that you can actually do it. Is get yourself some liquid latex, paint the part itself, right, and give it a thick piece, and then add some like cotton to it, whatever the case may be, and then you also use plaster on the outside. That way you have that mold to that piece, and then you can mold it from that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, RJ Eagle has on YouTube says also maybe a dumb question, but are you modifying existing design files and printing them, or creating new ones by tweaking the files to your liking? I would like to get into the 3D file design aspect.
Yeah, taking someone else's file, that's really difficult. So I've never taken someone else's file. I've definitely copied reference images and people's 3D stuff.
Well, I'm sorry, but yeah, you got to make me those oversized what's called when you get the filament printers again, because I definitely want those bad boys. You know which ones I'm talking about, the oversized tapes.
I do have a big resin printer, so it would be a lot of fun to make a high detailed oversized tape.
Yeah. So here's a question. It wasn't showing up, but what got you into Transformers?
I did see that question, and I was waiting to answer that. Okay, so it's funny enough, I have this here. This is my original 1989 Optimus Prime, Power Master Optimus Prime I got on Christmas.
Ooh, nice.
And I totally remember that day. This is the guy. Okay, what happened? I remember putting him together. And because in truck mode, the arms are upside down, and my dad is helping me put the stickers on. And he's like, no, you put the sticker on right side up, right? Because it's in truck mode. I'm like, no, that's not how it's going to look when it's in bot mode, right? And he put the damn sticker on upside down, and I had to peel it off. So Transformers, I think what it is, this really got me into, I think what it was the Robert Kennedy, or that little kid Kennedy, Transformers Kennedy. Season 5 there, Tommy Kennedy. I think that's what really did it for me. I'm born in 85, so I would have been about 4 years old at that time. And like I guess I wasn't really following along with the airing episodes, but like my grandparents took me up with the comics, and they would rent the FHE season tapes for me, and that really kept me going. My grandparents really fueled my love for Transformers all the way through. And this guy here, especially.
You're the first person that's come up through the Tommy Kennedy episodes that I've heard of.
You've never seen them?
Yeah, I've seen clips from them. There was a period there where the big quest was to try and find the actor that did them, and eventually they did.
Nice.
He was a guest at BotCon one year because of that.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Speaking
For
of
a long time, nobody could find them.
Speaking of
Yeah.
guests, the TF Con that's coming to Orlando that I'm going to, the Dan Gilbert's going to be at. They finally announced another guest, and it just happens to be Victor Corelli.
Oh, nice.
But from what I learned when I went to get the Perceptor and Stan Bush autographs at whatever con that was, I learned that Victor Corelli lives in Fort Myers, which is about an hour south of me. So he's a Florida boy anyway. So getting him to do anything TFCon related, Florida is probably pretty easy.
Sweet. That was 2010 BotCon, by the way, in Orlando, right? Stan Bush and Paul.
Oh no, I went to BotCon in Orlando in 2010. Yeah, but I just went to a random con that had Paul Lighting and Stan Bush there signing. So I went to it.
I wonder how much it would cost to get Victor Corelli to do like your voicemail message or something.
Actually, I thought about that because I remember going to MegaCon 3-4 years ago for Peter Cullen and Frank Welker, and they were doing that. They were, you paid a certain fee and they would record. And I thought, man, how cool would that be for like an opening for Toy Warp or something, for an opening for a video? So yeah, if the option's there, I'm probably going to do it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I would be a 3D
that
printer.
lovely opening that Spin did, where it's Victor Corelli actually saying the thing instead.
Wow, yes.
I might be able to arrange that. If it's doable, I might be able to arrange that.
Ooh.
Oh, that would be amazing. Well, Freaka 1978 has a question for everyone. If you were a Transformer, what would your alt mode be, and would you be bot or con?
Strangely, I don't have an answer to that.
I'd be a 3D printer.
make your life a little bit easier.
I actually made a character back in the MySpace days. I actually made a Transformer character. The alt mode was a 90 Camaro IROC Z. It was a car I had at the time, so I reference pictures and make them look really good in robot mode. It was like, I know I probably sound stupid saying it was like the second biggest Transformer page on MySpace, but it was. Yeah, there's only one other big one.
The kids are like, "What's an IROC? What's MySpace?"
Yeah, you're not wrong.
A kid born in 2011 doesn't know MySpace.
Oh gosh, yeah. Bring that kid in and ask them about it.
Hey, I want to know what T.F. Johnny says about this one for that question.
Mm-hmm.
What would you be? Yeah.
Let's go aircraft carrier.
Okay, so what would you be though? Autobot or con?
I'm a big dude, I say aircraft carrier be my alt mode.
Okay, so what would you be though? Autobot or Decepticon?
I will be an Autobot.
All right, what about you, Spin?
Let's see. I would be an Autobot. Vehicle, I would be a car. I'm not sure specifically which car. I mean, out of all the Autobots, Jazz is my favorite alt mode, but I wouldn't want to just copy his mode. But for sure, some sort of truck, or probably more of a truck. So an Autobot truck.
Like the new Bronco?
More old school. Because the old school vehicles just have a better design to them.
Ain't that the truth? All right, who else did we miss that we didn't get for that question?
I would more likely be some form of a construction piece of equipment.
I have a hovering cat coming towards me.
Because I'm a builder.
Oh, she's trying to fight me.
Oh, no.
So
it looks so vicious. Do you fear for your life, or do you have courage to make it through the night?
I have the courage to survive.
So I've already answered this question.
I would be some form of a piece of construction equipment. Probably be like a skid steer loader. Something multitasking. And
now
I
what?
would definitely be an Autobot. I'm pretty much generally a good guy.
All right. So
Yeah, it's
anybody
weird, but,
else?
even before I was a Transformers guy, for some reason one of my favorite cars was the VW Beetle. I just thought they looked nice, so I'd just be really basic, and I'd just be like a Bumblebee repaint, like I don't know, like maybe blue or something because I like the color blue. So yeah, wasn't there a blue Bumblebee called Glyph? I just look identical to Glyph.
Well, for me, I've already said before, I would definitely have to be the Canadian fighter plane, the Arrow, and
Oh, the Avro Arrow.
Oh,
yeah,
Avro
and
Arrow.
yeah. So, but here's my dilemma. I wouldn't be bot or con. I would have to be like kind of like Jetfire, you know.
So I'm the only Decepticon here. Okay, great.
That's you growing up in a racist
Well,
piece of shit.
I'd want to play both sides.
What's up, bad boy, Sky Toy Warp? You bad boy.
And where's the
I would play
Call
both
me a
sides.
GoBot. Bad Boy was the name of a GoBot. Who come up with those names?
Wait, which GoBot was Bad Boy?
He was a fighter jet. God, I don't have him in the case anymore because I switched the case out, so I can't grab him. I don't know what kind of fighter jet, but he was some kind of fighter plane. Yeah, Bad Boy.
I remember was Leader 1.
Yeah, Leader One's definitely an
okay.
F-15.
How about Dive Dive? You want to be Dive Dive?
Stop calling me GoBots. What did I ever do to you? So mean.
You ever get the impression they were really scraping the bottom of the barrel for some of those names?
Oh my god. That's what I'm saying. Who named these guys?
Transformers Talk Raw on YouTube says, "Sup guys? Hey, what's up? Welcome. Thank you for joining in." And RJ Eagles says, "Does anyone still have the old Ultra Magnus voice changer modulator? I think it was from the movie. Remember that? Those produce some great sound effects."
I used to have a picture of that in a guidebook of mine. I would love to see how it actually worked.
It was actually it was almost like a vocoder. Zapp and Roger, one of the old folk bangs, essentially had it where you kind of speak into a tube and it would translate like your breath into making sounds from that. And his popularity was like making instrumental sounds from that same type of technology. But I remember as a kid, like when we had the consumers or like any Christmas catalogs, they had that Ultra Magnus voice modulator as one of the toys, but nobody ever bought it though.
Did you guys in Canada have that commercial talking to the no smoking or to discourage you from smoking commercial, and the woman at the
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's what you were describing pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much exactly that.
I'll try to answer that question before we get too sidetracked. If I was going a Decepticitty route, I would be a DSLR camera. But if I was going more for fun, I would probably be a Maximal, not a Autobot or Decepticon or Predacon. I'd be either a cat so I could play with my cat Shinta, or I would be a blue heron or a white heron, since I used to go around the marshes and swamps in Virginia and tracking them and taking photos of them and whatnot. And then TF Johnny might know about the pipeline in Richmond and down there too.
I'm coming kind of close to you.
Two nice blue herrings down here.
I'm coming close to you there, Bach. I think it's next week. I'm heading to North Carolina. Yep, there's Bad Boy.
Yes.
Hey, nice alt mode, honestly.
I like the mouth painting on the nose. It's kind of cool. That's World War II.
That's the like.
So I want to go on the record and say that this Metal Hawk Transformer is awesome.
Yeah, it is. I agree.
If anybody hasn't got him yet,
It's pretty cool.
he is solid. He's big. He's got a lot of tab structure that everything locks together with. I really, really, really like him.
Yeah. He's an extensive Kingdom Cyclonus retool. I know that.
He's kind of a cool
Yep.
character too, if you research. He's an interesting character, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead,
He shouldn't
Steven.
be hard to find. He seems to not be terribly popular in my area. I see a lot of him on store shelves.
Yeah, they're all
Which
on
is-
that stuff too. He's everywhere. I can find him anywhere.
Which is usually has nothing to say about the quality of a figure at all. Just that's the one that people decided to leave on the shelf.
Well, Shiba
People
Kobe
don't
has
know
a
him as a character.
it has an answer to freaking size question, and I'd be a technical Decepticon with a F-15 alt mode and a flying Puma robot mode, kind of like Quick Switch.
Finally, another Decepticon. All right.
Hey, I'm half Decepticon. Come on.
On
Hey.
which side?
Sorry, what do you mean by a technical Decepticon? Can you clarify
Predacon?
that?
She probably
Yes.
means like robots like Shockwave and
Okay, you don't think he meant profession, like function
Reinhardt.
technician.
yeah,
Shiba Kobe's a
technical
she.
characters that can wheel, jack, and ratchet. They would be considered tech characters, like in the game Forged to Fight. So any character that deals with technology a lot, putting it together.
Okay.
Well,
Mirage
she's kind of
people.
answering your question,
there
Decepticon,
you
but
go.
not evil.
Oh, so technically a Decepticon.
Technically Decepticon. Okay. Technically Decepticon, like, yeah. Like, that's my badge. That's how I grew up. Like, that's my hood. But it's not like I'm all evil and shit. It's just like, these are my people.
Well, that just takes all
So
the
you
fun
grew
out
up
of being
in
a
the blood of the
Decepticon.
Crip neighborhood, but you're not banging.
You see, but
Yeah, you might be banging, but only because your cousin's twisting your arm, not because you're about it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's so like for me, when I said I wanted to be like Jetfire, there is because I would just
Yeah.
want to take over the easiest one that I could. If the Decepticons are doing shit, I'd take over them. If the Autobots are doing shit, I'd take over them.
His thing in G1 was that he's a scientist. He didn't really have any interest in war, right?
Well,
He just
that's
wanted,
what I'm
like-
saying. I'd be like him, but not like him. You know what I mean? I'd be Autobot and Decepticon. I'd be like that spy. You know?
Yeah.
So
I
the
think I would be
Autobot-
like Jetfire. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I was
Does
going to say I was
anyone
going to be
have
like
this,
Jetfire in the sense that I would join whatever affiliation that suits my needs, right? To
That's right.
to pursue
Yeah.
my scientific interests.
Everybody hold up your bad cube.
Does anyone have this 86 Braun? This thing is outstanding, man. I love it.
He's beautiful.
I heard
He's
he's
a
just starting
beautiful
to
guy.
make it to
Bad
my
They
cube.
did a great job on this, man.
Steve did
All
me
the
up.
way.
I don't have bad cube, but I got this.
Yeah. I mean, I have the
Nice,
fan
nice.
toys one, but I mean, for a
I
main
got
one,
that guy too.
this is very good, man. Very good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Bad Cube is underrated.
I don't like bad cube. I don't, man.
Well, you're holding up a Bad Cube figure talking about how it's good.
No, this is Takara, the 86.
No, it's not. That's Bad
series.
Cube.
It looks
Oh.
like a masterpiece. But this is
That's
this.
oh.
Hold on.
Oh,
Ain't that
I thought
brawny?
you were holding up the Bad Cube. That's why I was holding it up. Oh, damn. That's this.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. No, it does look like
This
a
thing is
masterpiece.
outstanding, man.
No, look. Dude, they just copied Bad Cube.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
almost
see,
like
there's
they're
the
both
trash
directly
right
derived
there.
from the
You know
same
what,
cartoon
Professor?
model.
I have to say, I had the Bad Cube. I sold
Anthony.
it. I got the Fans Toys one, but this looks better than Bad Cube to me.
Look like
Bad
Magnus
Cube is
of the
too big
Titans
and
or
blocky. Too bulky for me.
Man, your ass is big and bulky too, so shut the
That's a
leave
fact.
your word up.
That is a fact.
Aircraft carrier ass.
You know what? I'm gonna have to switch, man, because I'm
That's
gonna
a
have
good
to
one,
switch.
bro.
That's the niche.
You gonna get your ass kicked,
I'm
boy.
gonna be a
I know.
escalade, man.
I swear to God, I'm gonna be
Cadillac
scared to
Escalade.
death to meet Johnny.
I had to switch,
John,
man.
if you have Johnny's like tidal wave from Armada and Energon, he also not only does he go on water, he'll fly to the air even though he's a ship, and then he can divide into 3 smaller vehicles and then attach to combine with Armada Megatron. So
Wow.
he's more. So if you go the tidal wave, you're still kicking ass. Now if you go the broadside way, yeah, you're gonna get your ass kicked.
Hey, look, I appreciate the help, man. He just made me badass. I like it.
All right,
Oh,
he's
hey,
come.
that's a nice vintage, Ron.
Badass tidal wave fight in the PS2 on Transformers on Modix game.
Nice.
I just watched a review on that like 2 hours ago.
So RJ Eagle says, "Bad boy, what the?" With question marks, and he's like, "Yep, there's a." Which
Go by me,
they
bad
call 'em.
boy.
there we go. Transformers Talk Raw responds. Some TFs had stupid names too. Big Daddy. Although I don't remember. I don't remember. Wait, which is Big Daddy a GoBot? I don't recall that being a Transformer.
Yeah, it's a
Daddy.
GoBot.
Definitely not a transformer.
Okay.
There is a Micromaster named Big
There
Daddy.
is there is a Transformer called Big Daddy. He's a Micromaster, and he changes into a fancy hot rod. It's like black with red flames.
Yeah, he had a Earthrise little Micromaster, and then obviously the G1.
Yeah.
And Transformers.
He was also the star of the Dreamwave Micromasters comic, which is really funny because you had this serious storyline where the characters kept talking about Big Daddy.
Got it. Transformers Russ says, "Yeah, I
Big
think."
Daddy, if you think of the Metal Gear Solid video games, and you have Big Boss, it's kind of like that.
It was not as cool as that.
That bad. Big Daddy. Nope.
So Transformers Talk Ross says, "Yeah, I think one of the original prototype designs for the unreleased G1 Unicron included a voice changer like that."
That's what they say
Yeah.
on the patents and
The
things.
green one.
Yeah.
The little green one.
Voice changer like what?
Like you could talk into it and it would make the planet say stuff. But like in a deep metal voice.
Yeah.
I mean, they were already doing it with. I mean, they didn't change your voice so much, but they were already doing it with the USS Flag for G.I. Joe. It came with a PA. You talk into it and it would amplify your voice.
Oh, really?
I can't believe they didn't do a sound wave. I mean, that seemed like a perfect guy to do one with, you know?
Yeah.
They made an actual sound wave that played cassettes.
Yep.
Oh, really?
And MP3s.
Wow.
No, I mean, like back in the day, there was a G1.
Yeah, back in the day, we didn't have MP3s. We just had cassettes.
Yeah, back in the day, there was it was like a tie-in. It was a tie-in toy.
And I don't think it transformed.
Jesus.
I don't remember.
So Freak 1978 has a question for Decepticitty. Are you going to do videos of your cat fighting Transformers like Godzilla?
I was just thinking about that. I would love to do a kaiju kitty battle with my Transformers in a landscape scenery. 100%.
You better make her breathe fire.
Okay. All right. One thing I wanted to show you guys is I was adding this super lube to my high Q figure here because it was really tight, and this totally just solves the tight joint problems here.
Super lubing his high Q.
Don't.
Oh,
I'm not adding anything to it. I'm just repeating what he said,
man.
It really works.
That don't said volume.
Yep.
You have to keep in mind, I'm a construction worker, so when you open up with something like that, man, I've got to bite it off quick.
Well, I'm done paying you for that service. What?
It's immature for the rest of us, but it's par for the course in Mr. Magnus's profession.
That's right.
I'm
Too
sorry,
funny.
Swim away, swim away.
You better get that kitty breathing fire or lightning or something.
Yeah, try get one of her yawning so you
Good
can just
idea.
like make fire come out.
Yeah.
So I opened up that metal print and nobody saw it. This is what I got from the con this weekend.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah,
I saw it at the start.
Speaking of the con, maybe I missed it since I was late, Bill. But what was the?
I want to shout out. This is who made it. This is Pesci Effects, the art of Jerry Pesci. PesciEffects.com.
Nice.
They do take orders online. He gave me a deal if I gave him a little screenshot, so I'm giving him a little screenshot. You saw it here on Children of Primus.
Yeah, we got
Everybody
the
check 'em out,
website, the name, everything.
testeffects.com.
Nice.
Bill, did I miss
Nice.
the story about you being recognized?
You may have.
That was a good
I
story.
mean, it wasn't that big a thing, but there's an auction at Gen Con every year, and it's stuff that's donated and whatnot. And they had it's done by categories. Like they're going to do stuff here from Games Workshop, and then they're going to do stuff here from Slugfest, and they're going to do stuff here from Catalyst. And there was one coming at 8 o'clock on Saturday night. Or, I'm sorry, on Friday night. Of collectibles. It was just collectibles, and so I wanted to see what was. Is it collectible games? Is it because it's a board game D&D type-ish convention? And so I wanted to see what was out there. So I was standing at the counter, just kind of looking back at the shelves because I had everything sectioned off, and I was trying to see what they had in the collectibles aisle.
Mr. Magnus, I'm trying to pay attention to you, but TF Johnny is confusing us with this figure. Like, what prime is that?
And so this guy comes walking
Wait
up.
your turn, bro. Wait your turn. Go ahead, Mr. Magnus.
This guy comes walking up, and I expected him to say, "Sir, I need you to step away." You know, I wasn't crossing any lines. I was just at the counter, just kind of looking back behind. And he said, "Hey, man, if you got any questions, ask him." Like that. And so I just looked down at his con badge to see what his name was. And his name was Derek. He's from New Albany, New York. Shout out if you happen to be watching right now. But on his lanyard, he had our Children of the Primus symbol, and it said Children of the Primus on it. And I said, "Where did you get that button?" Like that. And he was like, "Oh, I'm a big fan of this. God, what did he call it? I'm a big fan of this podcast that I watch every Sunday."
Bill's on a podcast and he doesn't know it's called a podcast. But okay, continue.
and I went, "Oh, well, let me stick my hand out to you. My name's Bill Glenn, and I'm Mr. Magnus on the Children of Primus." And the dude totally fanboyed and started geeking out.
Far out, man.
What are you wanting to see? You want to come back here and look at everything before it goes out? Come on. And so I got to go back and look at the collectibles that they were going to auction off before they were coming up to see if I wanted to come back for anything. And like when I came back, my girlfriend was just like, "What happened?" She said, "I figured security was coming to get you or something." And no, so was gone. And I was like, "No, he took me back there." I said, "He watches the show on Sunday."
That is far out. Yeah,
that we're influencers now.
But they had a couple of small things, nothing Transformers related, but the big ticket item was that they had the gargantuan Tiamat figure, which is like 17 inches tall, from Dungeons and Dragons. That's the big 5-headed dragon.
Cool.
She sells for like $1,400, but they had a reserve on it for $1,000, and I was like, I'm not going to bid on that, so I'm not coming back for this. But yeah, it was kind of cool to be fanboyed. It was. Normally I'm the fanboy.
Mr. Magnus, you know what I'm showing you here?
Is that mine?
That's yours. Look at how shiny.
Yours is still in the box, sealed over here.
Yeah. Well, this was open before we made the deal, right? This was
Yes.
my collection. But yeah,
I'm gonna get up there to TFCon or something, and we'll make that trade.
Yeah, one way or the other, we're gonna hook up. We'll have a bunch of things to exchange. I got my transformation stuff. We got the blaster, so we have a bunch of things lined up. But here he is for you.
Is he only showing up at one side of y'all's headphones, or is it just mine? Everyone else is in stereo.
It's something wrong with how I have things wired. I'm only coming out one side for the evening.
He's broadcasting in mono because that's the way mine are set up. Because he does come through both sides of mine. But I've got one of my games that I play, and I can't have it on stereo because it glitches the system. So I have mine set up on mono.
So anyone listening in stereo, you're only hearing me out one side, unfortunately. I'm not sure how to. I'll try to fix it for next week.
So Professor D is to your right, whispering in your ear the whole stream instead of just talking at you.
So Charlie C, to our earlier part of the conversation, says the day Children of Primus was canceled, which RJ Eagle says we won't mention that Transformer known as a Rector, or was that a GoBot? I can't remember.
Yeah,
no, it was a Transformer.
We've talked about that on here. Guys, we've been remiss in failing to give Steven the full screen. Let's give him the full screen spin. Steven has won the award this evening for best T-shirt. Yeah,
Says no.
see, he said he's ready for his close-up right now.
There we go.
He is wearing the best T-shirt out of all of us. I got a pretty good one, but that is a dope-ass T-shirt. He's rocking
That's a
it
T-shirt. I like it.
Yeah. No, you're beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all would hate me because I blew them up too. Any other toy that wasn't Transformers, I would use firecrackers on to blow them up.
We're starting.
That's what you meant.
We're starting to come to the 2-hour mark, but I want to not talk about Tom. Maybe Spin wants to talk about Tom. I was going to throw to Decepticitty.
Just threw in Tom just for a moment there.
All right. Here's a peeping Tom. What is he writing on the bathroom
That should be our thumbnail.
Is he literally in a bathroom stall, like reading like the sex?
No, it's a whiteboard.
Yeah, it's the coding from MySpace.
Bathroom stall.
Literally did it on a whiteboard.
No, he did it in a bathroom.
Yes, your first friend. Every time you joined MySpace, your first friend was a guy in a freaking bathroom stall. That's exactly the message MySpace wanted to send out to you. Yeah.
Wow, I guess
Maybe that's why they're not around anymore.
Yeah, I'm glad I missed MySpace.
MySpace imploded.
Listen. All right, guys, shut up. I'm talking to Decepticitty. Decepticitty, our question to you, Spin asked you a little bit about how you got into Transformers. My question to you now is, what is your collection? Are you a mainline guy? Are you a 3P guy? Do you have a small collection, big collection? What are you into? Some of us here, so you see, I'm a masterpiece guy. We got, Anthony's the mainline guy. We all have our different areas of expertise. Spin is all about the G1 as his toy warp. What about you, bro?
Yeah, that's a good question. My collection, it didn't grow very fast anymore. I have a big collection. It grew too big too fast, and I couldn't maintain that. So I had to make the decision on what to pick and choose, and I can't pick and choose. Like, I love everything. I love the Beast Wars. I love like the recolors, like the G2 recolors they did at TFCon. Like, I love all of these things, right? So I really think I'm into more so is the engineering, and I picked up, for example, the Cosmos, which was really hard to get. And just take a look at the differences they did in the engineering. That Oculus Max cassette toys has really unique, brand new engineering that I've never seen in any other Transformer. So I'd like to see. Yeah, this is the one I just got at TFCon.
I have all the older ones.
They're really nice. Yeah. And when I was looking at the prototype online, I challenge myself sometimes to try and 3D print the prototype before they come out. I've never really succeeded 100%. But this one in particular,
that's great. That's great.
It was no way. It was so unreal how to transform this guy. And when I got him, I realized, like, this is absolutely unreal.
So which third-party company? Sorry, go ahead. Keep going.
Oh, third-party company. Well, particularly, I like...
I was just going to say, I was just interrupting you to say which, because you mentioned engineering. So I was going to ask you, which third-party company do you think has the best engineers, since you're somebody who's specifically looking at engineering?
Oh, yeah. That's hard to say. No, every company has, they're all amazing engineers. Like, they're all absolutely.
Yeah, just to do this is incredible.
Just to get a figure to market is incredible. They're all unique, and they all bring something different to the table, and that's what I've really come to appreciate about all the different companies, the Iron Factory, the Fans Hobby, the Fans Project. The Fans Project I love particularly the most, just because of the boxy stylization. I'm fond of that.
And they were one of the first. Fans Project was one of the first third-party companies to be doing original figures. A lot of people, people don't know that now because they're not in the forefront these days. That Power Master Prime that you told a story about, I think Spin has some good memories of Power Master Prime. I think that was one of your favorite figures, or one of the figures that was like a highlight in your early collection.
Yeah, like when like when I first saw the toy, I was just like, I had to have him. Like he just looked amazing, and it's funny now years later when everyone talks about like early G1 toys being bricks. Like Power Master Optimus was like the ultimate brick.
Yeah.
But he was just still so much fun to play with.
There was a lot of playability. Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that disappointed me then was is the regular Optimus mode, where it's just like if you had the the 84 Optimus and you hold it next to
this was a downgrade, right?
Yeah, it felt like a downgrade. So but on my shelf I always kept him in Power Master mode. And I always felt disappointed he didn't make it in the cartoon, but in the comic books when they brought him back, I just realized he was having a Murder Prime moment in the comic book. Cause he had moments where he's just like he was upset with the Decepticons. In Power Master mode, he was shooting anything and everything in sight.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, it is 9 o'clock here, so it is time for me to turn in. 4 a.m. comes quick. So you all have a wonderful
Mr.
evening.
Magnus, we will see you next week.
Yes, thank you for the story tonight. That was awesome.
Oh yeah, it was cool to be there, man. Peace out, gentlemen. Except Kenny, thanks for joining us.
Have a good
Nice
one.
talking to you.
Yeah, take it easy.
So
gonna
since
say,
we're kind of wrapping it up a little bit here, I just wanted to say I've been contacting a few people and I got some information and I got a couple thumbs up and yeses for some interviews for upcoming guests. So
We got some exciting guests coming up.
yeah, I just don't want to reveal the names yet until they're 100% locked in, but we will be having some really good guests coming. And I really hope that Decepticon can come in when we have a particular guest because, he knows a lot about this guy. And he actually has been sending me the links to his live streams and I've been watching them. And that's how I got in contact with him. I asked him if he would do an interview and he agreed yes. So.
Cool. And I mean with Decepticon, he was actually supposed to be our guest for next week, which he still will be, but I know with in terms of like the 3D print and 3Ps and knockoffs and everything, and it's just like knowing that you have some of the knowledge on the engineering and manufacturing side. That's why I was just like, I'd love to have you on tonight just to have some of your input as well.
Cool. Happy to be here. Yeah, thanks for having me.
So RJ Eagle has a question for everyone. Any love for Impossible toys? They are now defunct, right?
Yeah, I think the last thing they made was a bunch of Tetra Jets.
Oh, I love them. Love them except for the crotch. It always breaks.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the Impossible Toys. That's their key contribution to Transformers' third-party history is that they were the first to make the Tetra Jets. And they're not bad. Like they're not awesome either. And we still don't have any third-party masterpiece scale Tetra Jets. Nobody's tackled that yet. But the only Tetra Jets
Kickstarter.
Yeah, exactly.
They did some Quintesson stuff too.
Yeah, I don't think there's a third-party Quintesson.
Impossible Toys.
They did do some. They did Quintessons, and did they also do like a Cybertronian Bumblebee? Cybertronian mode Bumblebee? Was that them?
That was Mass Toys.
Yeah, that's Mass. Okay, I'm confusing Mass Toys. Yeah.
They did the prosecutor and all the different characters from that.
Okay, yeah, the Quintessons. Yeah. So those were good.
And actually, I know someone mentioned something about G1 or articulated G1 figures. So I had an Impossible Toys clip jumper, and it was the same exact thing as the G1 clip jumper, but the knees could bend, the elbows could bend, and a little more points of articulation. But it was the same exact thing, a little bigger too.
Oh yeah, I have those. I have a number of those. I got a blue one and I got the cliff jumper. I got the Bumblebee and a bunch of other colors.
So
yeah, I got them. I think I got like a bunch of them for $9 each. I got like 8.
Hey, did they do a hubcap?
I don't think they did. I think it's just it's really just Bumblebee, and it's just different colors of Bumblebee.
Oh,
Like they
geez.
didn't even change the mold; they just changed the colors.
So, Decepticitty, question: have you seen that leaked photo of the KFC 3D printed parts that turn the Junkions into a combiner?
Ooh, I got
No,
a whole
I
bunch of
haven't.
these. I got a bunch
I
of
have
those
not.
Junkions right here.
Well, if you haven't seen it, try to look it up. I know it's out there. I've seen it a few times on a few different pages now, but
Yeah.
man, that would be sick if you could print out those pieces because I would love for my Junkions to become a combiner. That
Hey,
would be
can somebody
real
pull
sick.
that up? Spin. You want to look that up? You got? Can you try to find combiner part? Is that for KFC Junkions?
Yeah, KFCs. Yeah.
Try KFC Junkion 3D printed
Combiner. Yeah.
Junkions
KFC
should have a
will-
combiner.
Now,
Would
while I'm
always be the
looking that
funniest
up,
company name for me.
I have a question for you guys. A bunch of Junkions
Anthony,
combined.
professional.
A bunch of Junkions combined. What would their combined name be, and what would their Junkinator? What would their personality be?
Fred Sanford.
Yeah.
Hasbro already
Macho
used the best
Man.
name
Obviously,
on the
they
big
need
garbage
Macho
truck
Man
Junkion they
right
just made. His name is Trash Master.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Trash Master.
That's creative.
You know,
Yeah,
Trash Master Supreme.
yeah.
I would want to call him Weird Al.
Oh yeah.
You'd have to be Al. You'd have to be Junkion Al.
And everything he said came out like it was sounding like the Dare to Be Stupid song. You know what I mean?
How about
It
this?
didn't sound like
How
that.
about
It was
Young
funny.
Godzilla?
I thought TV.
Maybe he should turn into a kaiju
Call
and it
Little
should be
Lucy
Junkzilla.
Trash.
Well,
Junkzilla. Yeah.
I mean, if it's more of a new age, would he speak as Rekgar did back in the day of just like TV lingles, or or would you update him and he just speaks all sorts of memes that we've seen on the internet over years?
That would be the modern version.
Yeah, that'd be the modern version. But yeah, no, you do it like Max Headroom. Remember Max Headroom?
Ooh, yes.
Catch me outside.
Max Headroom. My Max.
Yeah. You get him to talk like that, because he already talks TV.
He'd probably be even be more unpredictable than Minosaur to turn them into a combiner. I'm not finding any images of that though.
Yeah, I've been looking too. I don't see it.
Yeah. I know I've seen it. Like
You
as
saw
soon as
you saw it on your acid trip, bro.
I wish.
Cool.
I
It's a
wish.
great idea. It's a great idea.
No, exactly.
All right,
We
We
should
have enough
design it.
Junkions. Let's do it.
Listen,
Let's do it.
guys, we should design it. Let's just
called the
get together on a
Junkosaurus.
weekend. Get
Junkosaurus.
Yeah, it's on
Junkosaurus Prime.
TFTformers.com. Junkions Combiner Junkosaurus revealed from Transformer Legacy Evolution. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
No,
the
not that one. Not
official
that
one.
one. Not that.
Oh,
They're making a real one in the Legacy.
Yeah, they got the legacy ones, but I'm talking about the KFC ones. It's definitely a KFC one.
do you have the KFC Crash Hog Frankenstein?
I have,
Red
I
car?
think, man, yeah, I got him, but like, I think I only got like 8 of them, and I guess there's like what 12 or something now.
I'm not sure how many. Do you have
Yeah.
an issue with his mustache keeps falling off?
No, actually, I don't. He's been sitting on one of his,
Easily, man.
yeah. He's been sitting on one of his buddies in the shelf since I transformed him a couple of years ago. So, he's just been sitting there.
Why would his mustache fall off? I thought that would be more of
They
a
peg
permanent piece.
No, they peg in like.
Wow.
he has a
Why?
mustache and the,
Why would you have that peg in?
Yeah.
You know what? You know what would have been a cool gimmick if they would have freaking gave each character a little can of goo that freaking glues them back together.
Could he had his mustache come after use kind of like a batarang, maybe? I don't know. Also, there's a handlebar
That's
mustache.
a good image.
Yeah. They did a good job on those though, man. I have the what's the name? The GoBot.
Crash Hog. Crash Hog.
That's the
No,
one I'm missing.
Psykill.
Yeah, that's the one I'm missing. I've been trying to find it. I can't find it anywhere, man.
Yeah,
Which one?
he's pretty
Psykill
good.
or Crash Hog?
It's the KFC side kill.
Yeah, it's the same mode.
They had it at TFCon.
Well, I didn't get time to look, man. Like, I hardly had any time to buy anything, and my budget was already spent getting up there.
I got it from Show Z store when he first came out.
But yeah, check out what I picked up. I don't know if I showed you guys this, but you know, for the price, it's not too bad.
What'd you pay?
The X Transbots.
Yeah, but with X Transbots pipes, what'd you pay for it?
It was $59, but he gave it to me for $40.
Nice.
And I was at my local pawn store, and like I didn't even think that nothing like that would be in there, because it's always like if it's Transformers, it's old stuff like Combiner Wars, and they overprice it.
That's an old figure, but it's not a bad. It looks pretty good. It's a nice looking figure. It's a little bit floppy, a little back heavy, but Johnny, do you have the Fans Toys pipes? Have you ordered?
I didn't make pipes yet. I have. Hold on.
No, they have made the pipes. He's not out yet. I'm saying, have you ordered it? Have you seen it?
I have not seen it. I have the X-Trans box. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about X-Trans box. X-Trans, we just saw that one, right? But like the Fans Toys one, the Fans Toys pipes looks spectacular. They had it on display at TFCon, and it looks really nice.
Yeah,
like a lot of people don't care about pipes as a mini bot. He wasn't a major guy. Spin excluded. It's his favorite mini bot. But yeah, that Fans Toys pipes is a masterpiece.
So let me just ask you guys a question. Let's just take Fans Toys just for example, okay?
There's the original.
Yep.
Would you guys want them to now like come up with a box set of all their mini bots once they're finished doing them all, and just sell it as one box set? Would you want that kind of stuff? Because Transformers is Hasbro's kind of doing that now, where they're giving you 2 packs or 3 packs or 4 packs. Would you want Fans Project to do that kind of stuff, or Fans Toys?
I shudder to think what that would cost.
Yeah, my initial thought is cost. The second thought is would they properly put in, would they include all the characters that should be classified as mini bots and not leave some out as Hasbro
That's
did?
what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, look, Fans Toys is making all the mini bots, so they could do that. But the reason why that wouldn't be interesting to me is because that doesn't homage anything, because we never got the mini bots in a set. But what I would love to see is any of the third-party companies in a masterpiece scale do a box set that actually homages the G1 packaging. So
yeah,
the one example that we have of that is in the Legends scale. New Age did that. It was either New Age or Magic Square. I'm pretty sure it was New Age. They actually did their Devastator set in a set that looks like, that homages the original packaging. So if Fans Toys ever completes their Stunticons and or Aerial Bots, and then they do that in a box set that looks like that, that would be $2,000. But that would be dope. Like a giant box set that was the Aerial Bots. Like the box would literally be this big. I would be down for that. I know you think I would be down for it because it homages something. But just to put all the mini bots together, no, it would just be a big box for no reason.
Okay, but for me, exactly what you're saying. But I would like to also see it for the Seekers as well. All of them. Just and you want to talk about price? Look at the price that we paid for some of the stuff, like Unicron and the Chang toys. Eventually, we're paying for it all, but why not pay for it all at once? Give us a little bit of a discount because it's all in one box. You know what I mean?
I don't know. For me, I like it when they homage the original boxes. So putting the Seekers together in a box, again, to me, I wouldn't want that. I would want them in individual boxes that look like the G1 boxes, except of course they're that much bigger.
Well, and D, you still got to send me that link for that Starscream, that KO Starscream that you had, that you said was better than
I can send you a link to what it is. But I mean, you can't buy it now. You know, it's years old, right? You'd have to
Hey,
hunt
you
it
know
down
what?
on eBay.
Don't say that because I'm gonna find it and buy it. You watch.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just
No, I
saying-
mean on the secondary market you have to find it. I mean, there's no link
Yeah.
to purchase it. Yeah, of course. But
Yeah.
yeah, I will definitely send you a link as soon as we get offline. Right now, I'll do that for you.
Well, to the box set that you're saying, I throw this to Anthony. I think it was the TFCon last year. There was a box set of, I believe, certain Beast Wars that someone was having an issue selling. In a sense, like no one would buy it because of the price, and it kept showing up every year. It was either a Beast Wars box set or Dinobots or something. But there was this specific Transformers box set, and it was going for I think like $2,000 or something, and from what you were telling me, it's or I think it was either a Jurassic Park combo or something, but it's like it kept showing up at TFCon every year and no one would buy it.
Are you talking about I'm not sure what that's referencing, but there's this dealer that every year tries to sell a Revenge of the Fallen, Human Alliance, Mudflap, Chromia, and Simmons, and keeps upping the price every year, and it never sells. And it's been a fixture at the convention every single year.
I don't even know about that one. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like... Go ahead.
It's a whole bit of lore at this point, because it was still there this year, too.
What is the figure?
Revenge of the Fallen, Human Alliance, Mudflap, with so the alternator scale that they did at that point. Which,
Now-
to be fair, I think the original justification was it was a tail ender, so it was a bit hard to find back in like 2009. But somebody keeps bringing it and
What is
selling
he trying
it
to sell it for? Like, what is he trying to sell it for? Way more than what the value is?
Yeah. Seems to think people are going to buy it for a lot of money. Nobody ever does.
So getting back to what I was saying about the KFC guys, the Junkions being combiners, I would like to see a secret combiner as well, since they got that one for what is it, Combiner Wars, where they got Starscream as a combiner as well, but he's got all these different pieces from Autobots and Decepticons.
That could work in mainline. In Masterpiece, no way, because the Masterpiece engineering is a nightmare with the Seekers as it is. So trying to make a Masterpiece combiner would be trash. On the other hand,
I think they over-engineered.
On the other hand, these mainline ones, these mainline Seekers that I was showing you up there, right? Those guys are solid. They're compact. They can transform into bricks, and they could make those into a combiner in the same way as they did the mainline Menasor. That could work.
Yeah. But I think that they're just going, they're trying way too hard with the molds for these Seekers. Like everyone looks all right, but once you transform them, you run into issues constantly. I think they're just over-engineering it, and they're not simplifying it enough to make it a sturdy character, in my opinion. Because I hate those ones because they're always falling down, always.
Yeah. So speaking of over-engineering, this is my challenge to Decepticitty. So we've been talking about on Children of Primus now for some time that when we're nearly at our 20,000 subscribers on Patreon, and when we get to 20,000 subscribers on Patreon, what we want to do is release Masterpiece scale Tetrajets. And so my challenge, I saw you picking up your Starscream right there. You're looking at the engineering. So we got a couple of months before we hit the 20,000 subscriber mark. I'm hoping that you're going to come over here. We're going to put our heads together. We're going to start doing a little designing. We're going to figure out how to make the Masterpiece Tetrajets, and we're going to succeed where Mass Toys failed, because Mass Toys did put out those prototypes. They showed us. They got us all excited about those Tetrajet Masterpiece Seekers. They never came out. We're all connected in the community. Everybody knows everybody. We all got friends in China. You and I put this together. We prototype it. Bob's your uncle. 20,000 subscribers. Everybody gets a Tetrajet Seeker. What do you say, Decepticitty? Are you in or out?
Wow, I'm so down. I'm so down for that.
Good.
That's just such a strong piece of my nostalgia. Oh yeah,
Good
100%.
man. Good man. We're gonna
Those
make
would
it
definitely
happen.
sell. Like Tetra just like,
They'll
oh
sell.
man,
They'll sell,
Just
and
thinking-
we'll get investors once we prototype it. We make it good. We know the right people. We'll get the investors. We'll make it happen.
You know what would I think would sell if you could make that point as a transformable weapon that you could fit on these Tetra Seekers that we already got.
Yeah. Just I was just thinking about just a simple I've talked about it before of just like clip-ons for the 3 points so that the wings are pointy and the nose is pointy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But then they combine it.
You may as well make it do a weapon. Sure.
Yeah.
No, we could do that on the way, definitely.
But,
Let me ask you gentlemen that were just previously at the TF Con. When I used to go to the bot cons, I went there looking for box G1 stuff. Did you guys see a lot of Mitten box G1 stuff?
Yep.
No,
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
did.
fair amount.
Yep.
Okay.
You guys didn't think there were a lot of like knockoffs of them because like I go on Alibaba Express and see pretty much every single one, and they're all knockoffs.
I love those.
I mean,
like nothing wrong with them; they're made the same and all that. But like,
no,
you
but
know,
you can't tell the difference.
I don't want
You can't-
knockoffs.
Yeah, no, but you can't tell the difference when you get them in like those boxes. They're printed like you can tell on the print. The print quality of those boxes is not exactly the same as the originals. They're not even the same quality as the reissues that were in Walmart. Like the ones that were in Walmart, those are printed with the exact same quality of what we got in the 80s. But when you order those KO ones, those KOG ones, they're good. They're close, but you can tell that they're not the real thing.
Yeah.
Which is
But,
also
like,
good, so collectors aren't getting fooled.
Yeah, but like when I was at the con, that's what I was seeing more of is those type of boxes, right? Like they were just
of course,
too
there's more
crisp.
of those around. They're going to be cheaper, right?
Yeah.
So
They were just too crisp.
Excuse me, guys. I have to get ready to sign off, but it's been a great talk and nice to meet you there, Deceptive Kitty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and talking to you, Johnny.
Catch up with you guys.
All right, Johnny. We'll see you next week, bro.
See you, brother.
Cool. Good joining you. Peace.
And then there were 7.
Well, I don't know. We're going on 2 hours and 20 minutes here.
Time to wrap up.
Maybe we should just cut out and save it for next week. You know, we got lots of questions for Deceptive Kitty. I know I do.
Yeah. Save all our questions for next week. But before we do our rounds, Fear or Courage, what do you have lined up for tomorrow?
Well, this guy I've been taking photos of if I get him done. I only have a couple more. I think I'm basically there.
The cat? You're featuring the cat?
Well, maybe. Sometimes she shows up in the photos.
Not that kind of website.
Not that kind of website.
Yeah, the TFCon exclusive, which I tried to put out as soon as I could, but there's a lot to talk about because it's a big figure with a lot going on. So, I guess the spoiler is I'm not a big third-party guy, but I'm really fond of this one. Not even because it's a big, crazy-colored Europe guy. It's just turned out to be a surprisingly solid figure, like, all around. So I was like, hey, what are these fans... What is it called? Fans Hobby. What else have these guys done? This is a good good starter figure with these guys.
Yeah. Well, Freakenstein has all those monster bots. Have you reviewed them on your channel?
Which ones?
The Fans Project's monster bots.
Fans Hobby.
Fans Hobby, sorry.
Fans Hobby, not yet, but I will be. The problem is that I got all these Transformers at my house, and then I'm using my sister's spare bedroom as my studio, but I keep getting toys in, so like I try to do those so I can pack them away, like because in all reality, the truth is I'm packing them all up into storage because there's always new stuff coming in, and I want to get ready.
Find a way to circulate. You got to work out a system so that you keep it.
And I'm trying to get ready for my move. I will be moving out into the county probably. That's what I'm trying to hope to, so I can get some peace and quiet from my neighborhood. It's pretty rowdy, and it's hard to get work done when there's stuff going on 24/7 out there, and trying to get to my sisters and back. It's a little bit difficult, right? Like, so as soon as I can get out to the county and get a new place, I'll be doing a display, and every time I open up a transformer
Yeah.
and put it up, I'll do the review for that there too as well.
We'll look
Nice.
forward to that.
Mhm.
Back to you, Fear Courage. You were saying?
Yeah, just this guy will be next. Beyond that, who knows? I have a few things written up already. I was very, very voraciously writing pretty much the week after TFCon, so I got a lot of reviews in the pipeline. Every Monday on Children of Primus, under the Blogbot section there.
Mm-hmm.
Dope.
But yeah, look out for this guy tomorrow.
Toy Warp Vintage Reviews on YouTube. What about you, sir?
What I got coming up is something big because it's actually for the Cruisers Motorsports channel.
Ooh.
So I told you guys the story last week about the Days of Thunder stuff, about getting everything signed by Michael Rooker. Since the popularity is up on it, and since the video did so well, I started to do like a top 10 things you didn't know about Days of Thunder for the Cruisers channel, and I got about 2 pages into it. And it was on the first subject, and it was the Days of Thunder barn. In the movie, they build the race car in the barn, and it's a really cool old barn. And come to find out, it still exists. So I'm going to North Carolina next weekend and making a video in front of the Days of Thunder barn talking about the Days of Thunder stuff.
Awesome.
Ooh, wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah.
And to do it, I
look
picked up
forward to that. We look forward to seeing that.
Yeah, and to do it, I picked up a brand new gimbal. So I got a brand new gimbal for the brand new camera. So all the equipment's finally coming together. So yeah, it's going to be, I think, on the same par as the Bigfoot video that's on the Cruisers channel.
Ooh, yeah.
And when is this video going to come out? You're filming it this week. It's not coming out this week?
Right. Yeah, I'm going to be filming it next weekend.
Okay. All right. So will it be done on Sunday?
No, well,
By
the
Sunday
filming
night?
will be, but me editing
It
it
won't be up.
probably going to take a
Post-production got a
week.
long tail.
Well, when it's up,
generally.
anyway, when it's up, maybe you let us know, and we'll drop a link here and make sure we'll send people over to see the video. And maybe even when you do the whole edit, if you make like a short clip, like a 1-minute teaser or something, then we could just play it on the channel, talk a little bit about it, and refer people over to watch your whole video if you want. Something we could do.
See the wheels spinning on a Freakenstein there when you said that. But also to tie it to him, Brian from YouTube says, guys, I'm only 2 subscribers away from 300 subs.
Ooh,
And
impressive.
also says, by the way, I'm back. And Freakenstein, how recently did he start his channel?
Oh, that is not a TF fan forever, but I'm not too sure. But I've been talking with him, and I do want to do a short interview with him again, just like I did with TF fans forever. My goal is to try to interview the newer generation that's starting their channels, whether it be because
That's
of the
awesome that you're doing that. You're gonna have a series before you know it. This is your second guy. Before you know it, you're gonna have a series of 10 people who started their channels, and you interviewed them when they started at 100, 200, 300 subscribers, and some of those guys in 2 or 3 years, 1 or 2 of them is gonna blow up.
That's the
Well,
hope.
I'm going to do follow-ups every 3 months with these people. Anybody
that's cool.
I'm going to do a follow-up in 3 months and see how far their channel has gone. Because, that
is a brilliant show. That is a brilliant show.
What everybody doesn't understand about my channel is that I started 4 months ago with Transformer videos, okay? I didn't, I'm just throwing myself out there, and I appreciate all you people out there that have subscribed, and I encourage you to subscribe this channel as well. But, I work hard at what I'm doing. I spend a lot of time at what I'm doing. I learn a lot of stuff that I've never learned before. I'm a baby when it comes to the internet and technology. And I've learned stuff in the past that I needed to, but I threw that aside. But this I'm really focusing on. And I really like and appreciate that these people are doing the same thing. They're throwing themselves out there, whether they have a goal or no goal. I want to hear their story, and I want other people to hear their story as well, right? Because again, we all bleed energon, so we need to know.
It's a good quote.
I
And,
think that's a good note to end on. We all bleed energon.
That's
And-
right.
Yep. And Brian says to you, freaking sign, I'll be down for an interview.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be doing a interview. It'll be because me and Decepticon got a little bit of a history. We had some fun at a couple cons ago, and
Uh-oh, too much information here. Wait a second.
what?
You just hear spin again. Don't.
Wait. You guys got to understand. He's got an even better story with a real.
I know he had a better story lubing some shit up, but we had to cut him off. Now we're gonna have to cut you off. Gentlemen.
Nothing like that. We're keeping this PG. But no, we had a good time. Like when I met him, we went out, had a couple of smokes, stuff like that. We talked about Transformers. We went up to like one of these rooms where they were selling toys, like whatever you call them. Yeah. But we're gonna do a short little interview as well. But it's gonna be a more fun and about stuff that we've discussed already before, and more about the origin story of that Decepticon and why he's starting this channel. And then when we interview him again next week, we're gonna be more serious, I guess, about what he's doing, because he is doing some pretty cool stuff with his 3D printer, and people should know about this kind of stuff. So, we just got to set up a good time, and we'll get that out there, and we'll plug the channel like usual, and tell everybody to stay tuned and keep watching, because we'll be right back.
Cool. And Brian says when people start a YouTube channel, some of us don't know beta to do, but as the years go on, we'll get better at technology.
And that's the fun part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on that note, I think the fun part is done until next week.
Well, we're still missing two responses.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. No, they don't have nothing else to fucking say.
We still got to hear from Decepticon and Stephen.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Oh, tomorrow.
Yes, we do.
No.
Okay, tomorrow I have my day planned. So like, I'm working on 3D printing a new figure that I've been really focusing on, and hopefully tomorrow I can get that finished up and at least get the first prototype printed. It's going to take a couple iterations of prototyping this guy out. Yeah, I really want to crunch this figure out and get him to markets. Yeah, I've really been banking on this guy to be finished soon.
Well, we're excited about that, and we want to hear a lot more about it next week, and maybe see some of the prototype.
Cool.
And
Thanks.
over
Appreciate it.
Cool. And over to Stephen, what do you have coming up for this week?
Probably take some pictures of those figures I was showing off earlier. And then I know I got some carving I'm working on at the art studio. I'll probably finish that up hopefully on Tuesday and take pics of that. Yeah, I guess that would be it. Got a bunch of random figures in boxes to take pictures of. It's just a matter of it being cool enough to go outside and not half die doing it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
yeah, that's pretty much it.
We're just making the tour here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Ben.
This is what I'm going to be working on for the next few days, because I want to get this combined. I'm so curious, but I just want to show off this box of how cool it is. It actually has another box, but it's got like tote handles on it, and it slides in. It's pretty damn cool. I think whoever designed this box, they need to design other toy boxes, because it's pretty cool. Like it just slides in and out.
That's something you'd see at those like Chinese robot toy sections. You know, like gift
Yeah,
box,
yeah,
minor toys.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Cool.
here's the actual. I don't know if you can see inside this box right here, but they got stuff right inside the box too, man. Like they went all out.
Yeah, that's great packaging. I'm interested to see this once it's out.
Yeah, like I'm really enjoying it. The only thing that I do have to say is that it did have this rattling around, and I don't know if it was just it's going to be real hard to see, but one of the spikes on the dinosaur, it's too hard to see on camera. You guys aren't going to be able to see it that well, but one of the
Mhm.
spikes came off, but like it just looks like it was glued on anyways, and the glue just didn't stick. But
Yeah, so
you
just
know,
glue
that,
it yourself again.
yeah, that's what I'm going to do. But you know, it is what it is, and I can't wait to get them combined and put them next to this Thunder King to do a comparison. Even though he's going to be the size of his leg, but you know.
Cool. Well, on that note, we're going to sign off, and thank you again for everyone that came through. Thank you for everyone in the comments sections, and also when you get a chance, leave any comments afterwards. Like and subscribe to the channel, and as we say at all of our end of the streams, till all are one.
Until all are one, yeah.
So all our